the other party's fortress, and I got it one time finally, and so the DM let me pretty much just blow up their whole fortress. The other party was super pissed, but I was trying. My whole character's thing was he's trying to find his own personal son. It's kind of just like a modeled after Solaire from Dark Souls, except he's like crazy. He's like a fire cultist and just wants to burn everything, and so he's a light cleric. So I used my divine intervention, and I was to try and ask my god where I could find my son, which was like a powerful, like an artifact, to kind of be his representative or his avatar on the mortal realm. And I got it. I got divine intervention, and I'm like, sweet, GM's gonna give me some information or point me in the right direction. And now, before going any further, like most games, the GM does inspiration. His inspiration's really powerful though. Like it lets you, he lets you reroll any roll, and he lets you do it after the roll's been rolled.
I like how I do story points.
Yeah, but it's not just like a D20 too. Like he'll let you roll like other stuff that usually GMs only show. So his inspiration is a little bit more powerful than I've seen it be in other games. And so I knew about the inspiration, and then so I succeeded on my divine intervention, and he pulls out a rule that I did not know about because I joined the game mid-session. We were like level 11 or 12, and I'd been playing like a month, and it never came up. He used one of his GM inspiration to make me re-roll my successful divine intervention.
The GM inspiration.
Yes, and I thought he was fucking kidding, so I just kind of laughed and just kind of waved it off, and he's like, are you gonna re-roll? I'm like, what? You joking? So yeah, he made me re-roll a D100 with a 12% success chance that I hit. And so I re-rolled it, of course, and failed. And to learn that he had 7 GM inspiration, and what he does is at the end of every session, depending on how good a session he thought he runs, he gives himself X amount of inspiration.
Okay.
And I was curious what you thought about that.
Kind of weird.
I don't know, personally, I left the game after that because it was very like, I don't think I've ever had a very like just a single most combative moment from a DM that's just like, no, you need to I'm going to use my inspiration so you can re-roll your divine intervention, which already, because it's just like, I mean, it just sucks because you've already got like a 10% chance of this succeeding, and to let me roll succeed and they get happy about it and then like me re-roll is just like, I don't know, that was.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little odd. As DM, you're not really supposed to be against the characters, and that is definitely kind of a adversarial rule, or like you just want to fuck with them.
I know, I've never seen somebody do GM inspiration before. I'm like, wait, what?
If anything, that should like let him re-roll a thing, not like make you re-roll. It's weird.
I know, it was just like,
that would make a little more sense. But still, I don't know.
I've come across some interesting rules in my time, but that was one of the more weird ones.
Yeah, a little strange. I only see 2 people on Roll20.
Oh, I guess I should probably.
So we probably want to get started soonish. At least get the recap going. Let's see, who was up? Well, Glenn, you would be the scribe this week if you're okay with that.
Sure, yeah.
Alright, and looks like Malin's out for quartermaster. Is anyone willing to pick up the job while he's away? Actually, he might be back later, but he's going to be out the next 2 weeks anyway. Maybe we won't need it. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you guys have access to it, so just if you need to put something on, you just might have to put it on. But yeah, why don't we have Uslog do a recap of last week?
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Oh, where's my journal?
In the journal section, probably.
That's generally
makes
where it is.
I got lost in the
I moved it to the
channel
roleplay
a little bit.
section. I used my DM inspiration to fuck with Discord.
It's Carly just rolling a 1 for perception in Discord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Uslog journal, 2nd of spring, 7 p.m. Roa calls near Forge's Fancy. We were fighting the Forge Master, who found himself flanked in an alley behind the burning building by me and Malin. Malin was still asking him advice on wooing women. Is this some sort of distraction tactic I'm not aware of? Meanwhile, Hohenheim was lying unconscious nearby, having fallen from a fair height in flames. We needed to end this fight. I managed to get the Forge Master very bloodied, but I made sure not to use lethal force until I knew for sure the others wanted him dead, and Malin was done with his conversation, I guess. I realized the divine magic that imbues my strikes didn't activate as it usually does, because Carly forgot. I didn't know how it works. I don't know how it works and have no control over it, but it's usually reliable. Perhaps the Raven Queen was just distracted today. Either way, I shouldn't get comfortable with relying on magic, whether it is granted by a powerful deity or not. Just when I thought we had this in the bag, Chomsky called from around the corner. Reinforcements from the east. Chomsky and the others on that side of the building were able to see several Dorger guards and one mine master, a Dorger mage of some sort, accompanying some fire giants. The mine master moved forward and went invisible. Chomsky prepared to cast a spell, and Arapel suggested we retreat as he healed Hohenheim. Hohenheim staggered to his feet and cast some mind-damaging magic at the Forge Master, shouting, "Take that!" Forge Master winced and sighed, "I guess this is it," and began to cast. Arapel cast a counteracting spell that unraveled whatever the giant was casting. It seemed to be a complex one, but Arapel is very smart and powerful, and was able to make it fizzle, whatever it was. Malin tried to get some last words of advice from the Forge Master Chad in between attacks, who finally dropped. Malin confirmed the kill with more magical punches. We made a final decision to retreat now. Malin sped off, calling back to retrieve any pouches I could easily take from the giant's corpse. I ripped 2 from his belt at random and ran, stopping at the corner of the burning building, where a wall of flame held me at bay. As I prepared to run through, I remembered where my javelin of lightning had fallen when I threw it at the original group of giants we engaged. Damn it. Why didn't I grab it earlier? The stone guard was closing in. My window of opportunity to grab the javelin and still get a safe distance and catch up with the group was getting smaller. Chomsky, always assessing situations with a cool head, declared we had a tactical advantage here if we wished to stay and fight. He scattered some caltrops in the alleyway, regardless of whether we decided to stay or not. With Hohenheim in rough shape and Glenn otherwise incapacitated, we decided to retreat. This could get ugly quick. Arapel grabbed the last pouch from the fallen Forge Master's belt and hustled to catch up. Malin, who had been hanging back holding the alley between the 2 buildings we were moving behind, brazenly announced our departure and his condolences for the loss of a Chad such as the Forge Master. I think this only lit more of a fire in their bellies. After his speech, Malin turned to leave, and I called out to him to use his hasted like an empowered state to grab my javelin from the corner, not far from where he was. He did so without hesitation. Okay, maybe he hesitated a little, but he was so fast, it was almost imperceptible. Ignoring the others' quips about fetching, he picked up the javelin and still made it past our other retreating allies. He has my thanks for retrieving one of my most prized possessions. I suppose he can borrow it if he wants. The retreat. As we retreated, the giants and their stone guard took every opportunity to pick us off. The invisible mind master cast some magic to try and seize Malin's mind, but he resisted, cheekily tapping his skull. Arapel had fallen behind a bit, considering a cluster of Durgar stone guard, and beginning to cast a spell. Chomsky called out to him and used his magic to warp Arapel closer to our escape route. Arapel seemed surprised by this, but quickly adjusted his course of action. The enemies were closing in, and with all my energy focused on trying to catch up with the others, I had lost my rage. So I felt the full force of both large rocks the fire giant behind me threw. One had particularly sharp edges. Malin was just about out of sight, but he made sure everyone was behind him. Chomsky said he could help me catch up if needed, and Malin zoomed away, dodging a giant's rock in the process. I was able to catch up without magical assistance, taking up the rear and the damage from a rock that otherwise may have gone for Hohenheim, who seemed to be on his last legs. "Thanks, meat shield," he declared earnestly. I wasn't looking much better than him at this point, but simply nodded and told him to go. I'd bring up the rear. The Mindmaster had one last attempt at affecting us with whatever magic they were casting, this time testing Arapel's mental fortitude instead. I continued to run, dodging 2 more rocks that would have been the end of me for sure. We finally got out of range, but we were not in the clear yet. The city was in an uproar. Bells were ringing, dwarves were yelling. It was a hot mess. We tried to stay together as we ran, but Hohenheim had other plans. He split off, hoping to lose the giants in the alleyways, but in his state, he didn't do well. Chomsky saw him fall behind, but Hohenheim assured him he would be all right. So Chomsky stayed with us, charging along on Carl's back. The rest of us only noticed Hohenheim's disappearance once we had gotten far enough that Chomsky felt he could safely cast his rope trick. There was a quick, panicked discussion on whether to go after Hohenheim together or send Chomsky with his invisibility to look for him. We decided to lose any enemies that may be tailing us in the terrain of the surrounding cave system, and then decide. Hohenheim has many tricks, some of which still surprise me even after all this time, so I was sure he'd be fine, but Chomsky was understandably worried. We managed to lose the guards and giants, but it was pretty spicy in the city proper, so we decided to lay low at the Three Kings base. From there, Chomsky chose to go after Hohenheim. For a tense hour, we all waited for Chomsky's return, but the first to show was Hohenheim himself, Chomsky shortly after. As much as I had faith that Hohenheim was crafty enough to elude the Seekers, I was still relieved they both made it back. Part 3. Diddy. Safe at last, we began the process of recuperating. Malin handed me my javelin, apologizing for its slightly slobbery state. I thanked him and offered him to let him borrow it, but he declined, instead asking for a look at the pouches I grabbed from the Forge Master. "You sure? Sometimes you need a ranged option," I asked, handing over the pouches. There couldn't be anything in a mage's pouch that could have possibly been of interest to me. "I need a souvenir for somebody special, or a certain somebody," he said, digging in the pouch already. What has gotten into Malin? Ever since we met the thieves, he's been acting strange. He pulled Glenn aside, and I heard them speaking in hushed tones. At one point, Malin cleared his throat and sang a short tune. It wasn't too bad if you liked that sort of thing. Perhaps he was taking the Forge Master's advice about music being good for wooey. I personally don't know what's so impressive about making such a bunch of pretty sounds. But like Glenn said, we're not all painted with the same brush. Diddy joined us, and Malin went all starry-eyed, handed her the nice ruby he found in the pouch. What the hell? The thing was valuable. We could have bought a lot of health potions with that, or some other life-saving essential. He said something about it being a trophy from the fight. He told Diddy, and Rando, I suppose, the story of our fight with the giants, with a little more drama than seemed necessary. He conveniently left out the fact that I did a lot of the work on the Forge Master. But okay. Diddy seemed mildly impressed with the gesture and asked if he was trying to flirt with her. Oh, so that's what this was all about. He wanted to give her a gift, he may as well have just handed her a coin. It's the only thing a stupid ruby's good for. Or even better, a finely crafted weapon or fur cloak from a ferocious beast he hunted himself. That's what my people do anyway. I'll never understand the customs of these Empire people. Diddy disliked Glenn's attempts at being the wingman for Malin, but still, when she left pocketing the ruby, she gave Malin a half smile. Glenn was happy for Malin, even though he himself had different tastes, he stated. Hohenheim asked Glenn what he liked, but Glenn evaded this question. Rando, however, jumped in, offering his 2 cents on the subject. It was at this point that I left the room. They bonded with Rando a bit while I took a moment of solitude to tend to my wounds and clean my weapons. The slobber on the javelin was easy enough to remove, but the bite marks would be a permanent feature. They learned a bit about Rando's past after the conversation moved away from the past exploits. Rando was Randolph Kingsley, born of nobility. Kingsley family of the Cheruvian Empire. Got bored, ran away, took his money for training, became a master thief. While they chatted, Gears studied Arapel and noted the potentially disastrous design flaw that was the extra-dimensional space built into him. The others chimed in, resulting in a lively discussion. Glenn eventually called everyone over. I thought he was going to break into song and reluctantly rejoined the group. I was in no mood for music right now. Music has a way of making me feel feelings. I don't like it. Instead, he began to regale Rando and Gears with the benefits of a rest in his magnificent mansion. It took some convincing, as they were understandably distrusting of portals, but Glenn just made it sound so good, and we all stepped inside for some R&R. I learned that the space Glenn created inside the spell was inspired by an elven forest he had spent some time in his youth. I'm glad for that. Despite myself, I found myself at ease, enjoying being able to see the sky and trees even if they are fake. The ample supply of alcohol helped as well. Diddy returned from her reconnaissance mission and told us she had been able to talk to residents, hyping the secret rock concert, and was confident that she had found a place, possibly out of the view of the giants. Glenn expressed his interest in still getting an audience with the Durgar family that runs this section of the city, but Diddy suggested we focus our efforts on the concert for now. Glenn suggested she partake in the luxuries of the mansion has to offer, and she admitted it was better than the sewer and settled over near one of the trees. Per Glenn's suggestion, Malin joined her, putting on his best brooding act. The next day, 3rd of spring, 8 a.m., we discussed everyone's plans for the day. We'd been working towards getting this concert going. Glenn and Hohenheim had been carousing, making contacts in the city, which would be difficult now with everyone all stirred up. Arabelle had been working on a scroll, and Chomsky had been crafting. Malin wondered if it would be wise to continue at the fight pit. It was the day of the championship finals, which would be a shame to miss. Even though the Giants didn't go there normally, I reminded him that, like at the Forge's Fancy, any one of the Durgar could rat him out, even if most of them don't care for the Giants. Arabelle suggested he just doesn't go alone, and that, in fact, everyone should stick in pairs. I had no need for hunting for the group today, even with my own qualms with fighting pits after my accident. I couldn't miss this. Besides, someone should watch his back. Malin had the same thought and invited Diddy to come along as his guest of honor with a front row seat. She said she'd come for a bit, but she had things to take care of. With the two of us there, hopefully we could catch wind of the arrival of any fire giants should they be tipped off, and warn Malin. Though I imagine Diddy's the sort to disappear at the first sign of trouble. I've dealt with thieves before. Their sense of self-preservation is often greater than their sense of loyalty. I don't know. Diddy seems all right. Despite the risks, Hohenheim continued his schmoozing with the locals. He gained 3 contacts with the nobility that would help promote the concert, among other things. Glenn also had success with making connections with officials in the city. At this point, we were notorious, but not in the best way. Fortunately, many of the Durgar, even some of the nobles, disliked the fire giants enough that our notoriety may be a plus in their books. Chomsky made some more potions and finished a pair of goggles of the night. Arapel put a day towards scribing the scroll he'd been working on. Malin did well in the fights, winning the championship. I think he was inspired by Diddy's presence once she decided to show up. I would be surprised if she wasn't impressed by this. We gathered back at the base around 4 p.m. to discuss the day's successes and figure out the next step. We may be just about ready to get this concert rolling, providing a much-needed distraction to help the 3 Kings steal what they needed for the upcoming heist. MVP, Malin. Sorry it was so long.
That was good.
Very nice.
Very good storytelling.
Thanks.
It all comes to life. I'm remembering it as you go through the story. I think you
No.
storytell better than me.
Aw.
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I'm just good at inserting that rules crap and making it into a game. But
Well, it works for the story. It's great.
Oh, yeah,
Couldn't
for
do it
sure.
without you. Yeah.
well, thank you.
I heard to play more music to make Uslog feel stuff. That's all I heard.
Lesson learned.
No.
Play more music.
I
Yeah.
think she'll learn to like it. She
You
just
got,
has a hard time accessing her feelings.
you got here
That's
just
why
in
she's so
time,
good at
Matt.
fighting.
Was a half hour of storytelling there.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't actually that long.
No, that's
Just kidding.
awesome.
It was like
Oh.
15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's
It was
Chomsky's here.
21.7 minutes.
I still don't see one of our people in roll 20. Where are you, Mikey?
Yeah,
that
geez,
me?
Mikey.
Yeah,
I was the first one in.
you're in the wrong game.
Am
I
I in the
think.
wrong
Are you
one?
in the right game?
I was in Holy Trinity. Whoop-ah.
Whoops. Yeah, I was like, where's Mikey? It's like,
You guys are idiots. I was the first one in. Damn.
I don't have to come into your roll 20 game. I'll do what I want. All
I'm
right.
glad we agree.
So it is the 3rd of spring at 4 p.m. I think we left off. We were still in the sewer base. kind of going
Yeah,
through the
kinda
days
regrouping.
and regrouping, and we just did the 5th day, I believe. Yeah, it was after the downtime completed on the 5th day for some of you guys. Does anyone have a project still going, or did you all complete them? I think you all completed them. Also, is Mary here? I know she's on. I haven't heard
Yeah,
from her.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Arapo actually was a day behind everyone else because he had 1 day left on a previous project when we started stuff here. So,
Oh,
but
that's
it's
right,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The round of drinks for the champion.
Yeah.
Just along with
Who
announced
is-
they came in.
Who is not here but is here in spirit. So yeah, you guys are kind of drinking, hanging out. You have your contacts, and I wasn't sure. I don't think you said what you were going to use them for yet. If you wanted to use them to get a meeting, or if you wanted to just put them all towards getting a ridiculously big audience.
So that
I
is
think we
the
were talking about
question.
splitting 50-50, right, Glenn?
Yeah, that's the decision, and we hadn't really decided. And that's what I was kind of leaning towards, because you said it was going to take 3 contacts for a meeting, and we each had 3, so that like we
Yeah.
could split down the middle. So you use your 3 for the concert, and I use my 3 for the meeting. Like I said,
Down
or
for
like I
that.
said or like I said, we can put them all for the concert. I mean, I think there's some benefit to have for the meeting, so I would say
I like the
split.
idea of half and half split personally.
Okay, cool. Then we can.
Yeah, when you suggested that, I was all on board.
Okay, we can have our cake and eat it too.
All right.
Yes.
So, do you want to get that ball rolling now? Like, go talk to your contacts? Are you gonna wait till tomorrow? What do you want to do?
I would say let's do it now, because that way, if I can convince them to aid us, maybe they can even help get the word out from to have people attend the concert as well.
All right. So let's see. Wait. Who's Hemdor? Oh, right, that was the fire giant. The Forge Master. He is now dead.
Oh, and I can even take our arena championship with me for clout.
So Diddy would tell you. Hang on, let me get some names and pictures up.
NPC work time.
So Diddy would tell you that the Kesben family patriarch, Gregaro, actually has a very substantial interest in magical item trade, and it might be easier for you to get an audience with him if you pretend to be some sort of procurer of magical items. And actually, you might be able to get something good off of him if you have magical items to trade.
Oh, interesting. Well, I don't know what we have as far as just laying around. Getting you.
Randolph Kingsley, Rando, would also mention, if you can get an audience with him, see if he has any information on the Master Forge in the middle of the city. I know several of the families have some heirlooms from it, and if he has one and we can get our hands on it, it might make the heist easier.
Oh, okay. Information on the Master Forge.
He says maps or keys or anything like that. If you're going to go the trader route to look for magical items.
Me as well.
Alright, so is that what you're going to try to do?
Yes, I think it should come with some magical items on hand, though. Does I know we don't have our quartermaster here, but does anybody know kind of offhand what magic items we have laying around that aren't getting used?
We
I
don't
think
really have too
Malin
many
had
anymore.
that chew toy, that electric chew toy.
We have
No.
we
that.
have we have some potions. We have a cap of water breathing. We have plate armor of gleaming. Arapel doesn't really use his short
there's the
sword.
great sword of
Sorry.
sharpness. Sorry. The great sword of sharpness. I'm not currently using, but I might be handy at some points.
Yeah. Arapel has a short sword +1 that he doesn't really use. But nothing like that a collector would find like particularly interesting. They're all, I mean, they're magic items, but as magic items go, they're not like super unusual ones, you know?
I think the Great Sword of Sharpness is rare. I don't know. Don't you have the Sword of Certain Death, that short sword?
Yeah, I
At
do
least
see that.
I'm seeing that in here. I think that's also rare.
Oh, where's that?
Under arms.
The other half of it is, or what's that? I
Oh, there
thought
it is.
Darian took the other.
Oh,
half,
I see.
but
It's
yeah.
under arms and armor, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't read that.
And I mean, any magical items that you'd be willing to trade, like, you're not, as a trader, you wouldn't be expected to have a ton of them. They're still really hard to get. So even having
What
a
about
few.
shadow crystals?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. No.
I mean, he might be interested in those.
I bet, yeah. But no.
I have the Spart Rock.
I can make 2 more of those.
I mean, how many
That is-
how many soul crystals do we actually have? Just out of curiosity.
5.
I'm just saying. I think we should bring one just in case, maybe.
I
You
think
never
that's
know.
a bad idea.
I mean, what's the worst some Drugar down here could do with it? You know.
I'm with
It'll end up in the wrong
Chomsky.
hands.
I'm with Chomsky on this one.
These things have a way of finding themselves into the wrong hands.
I mean,
It's
who's
like-
to say we aren't the wrong hands, though? I mean, who are we?
You guys definitely are the wrong hands.
Oh, I'm Professor Noam Chomsky. It's nice to meet you.
It depends on which one of us is holding the crystals, whether or not they're in the wrong.
Everyone's part. Well, actually, I think Arapel, or not well, Arapel is even a little shady because you're not sure of her past. She seems very innocent, but then like she takes out that what's it called, mace, and then just blows things up for like 25 damage.
Well, and then so I assume
Well,
people are using the figurines that are in the magical item section.
So Uslag is using the figurine of the Raven figurine, right?
Yeah. She's only used it once, but that's because she's still trying to figure it out. But
And Chomsky is keeping his close by.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think the extra ones might be just the short sword and the great sword.
Okay. I think look at this mirror of life trapping. The heck is this?
Oh,
that's
that's not
the
here though.
Twilight
That's in their
Sanctuary,
base. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, whoa, weighs 50 pounds. Are we carrying this around? Are we carrying?
Yeah, it's just on someone's back.
You just carry around.
We're trying to trap some. That's what you should have done. You could have trapped Chad in
Where
the
does
mirror.
it say that? What am I missing here? I don't see some of the stuff you guys are reading.
Yeah. Where does it say the mirror? I'm not seeing it.
It's under notes, magical item.
Notes, magical item. Wait, are you looking at a Google Doc or are you looking?
I'm looking in roll 20.
Oh, don't
Okay.
look at roll 20. That should be deleted.
Oh, that's right. There is a Google Doc. That's because I was like, where are these weapons you guys are talking about?
Yeah,
And
actually,
we were doing the same thing about everything you named off.
can I delete that? Do we still need that? The old treasury in there.
As long as everything
Um,
I know
I'm
some of
sorry.
it was probably.
I'll transfer it over this week.
Okay.
Make sure.
I mean, a
'cause,
lot of the stuff,
yeah.
might have been transferred previously, and then we've
Alright,
removed it
yeah.
from our inventory for a reason, you know.
I'll leave it for now. I'm assuming like most of that stuff might be gone anyway, but
Yeah.
it sounds like most of it is in the party sheet
Twilight
already.
Zone.
Like I think the mirror is listed under your strongholds, right?
It is not, but I can put it there.
Oh,
Right now.
okay. Yeah, like that you could stick it in there somewhere,
Okay.
wherever they're being kept.
So there is a great sword of sharpness, a short sword +1, and a sword of certain death.
That I think so. There's the I don't know about the sword +1. I didn't see that on the list, but maybe Arapel has that.
Who has the Sword of Certain Death?
That's just one of the items on the. Although it doesn't have a location.
It does not. But we got 2 of them, right? And Darian took one, and we held on to the other. So I thought it was in Arapel's bag of holding.
Because they
But
were
yeah,
part
it
of a
doesn't
set,
have a
right?
location. Yeah. Yeah.
I was just looking at something.
Yeah, and the short sword +1 that I mentioned is in Arapel's inventory, not in
Oh, okay.
the party inventory or in the bag.
Okay,
So you
It's just he was using it
sacrificed.
before he
You
got
did have
the-
a sword of life stealing, but you gave that to Yali, and a rapier
Oh, right.
+1. Is that the weapon in your thing, or?
Which one is Sword of Certain Death?
Okay, so that I think that was the second one of the pair.
It's very possible that we dropped it in Arapel's compartment because no one particularly wanted to wield it in the moment that we got it, and we meant to revisit and we never did.
Okay.
We tend to do that a lot. If
you-
someone doesn't jump in and say they want it, sometimes we're just like, oh, we'll figure it out later.
Do you have that in your inventory?
In mine?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because it's listed on the party inventory that I assume someone put it there because we discussed
Alright,
discussed it at
it's
some
just
point.
weird.
But
There's no location for it. I'm just hoping it wasn't accidentally like traded away and
Ooh,
we just forgot to
yeah.
take it off the sheet here.
You're good to remove all those magical items and everything.
Okay. All right. Let me check my notes really quick to see if I have anything about the sword of sharpness. The sword of certain death. Where it might be, because I think that was part of the angel's set, right? Like that angel had those 2 blades, the
yeah,
Deathbringer of Yali, and you
Yeah.
killed him, and then you took the 2 blades. I'm just trying to recall
Yeah.
what happened to them after that. Because one of them you gave back to Yali. She asked for both of them, but you kept one of them.
Yeah. Do you have access to Darian's?
Oh, that's good. That's a good point. I could check Terry and see if he has it.
Because that would be the only place that it might have gone.
yeah. And we haven't exactly
Uh,
done many trades other than giving the one to Yali.
Let's see, Darian. I think I turned him into an NPC. Did I spell his name right? I'm not seeing him. Alright, let me see if he's under Shadowfell. Oh, but wait, he went back to Gaian, so he wouldn't be under Shadowfell. Ugh, I have way too many notes. Last scene.
He's under Tyvanus. 'Cause that's where he
It's
left
almost-
us.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
this has been going on for 2 or 3 years.
I know, it's weird. There he is. I think I was spelling his name wrong. Darian, what do you have? Although, I think he betrayed you guys before you fought that guy. Oh, no. He does have the short sword of certain death. Okay, so he has it.
Who-
Cool.
Oh, Darian does.
We
Darian
got the
does.
goggles back from him, but not the sword.
Yeah, so you don't have the short sword of death. He still has that.
Cool.
Okay, I'm glad I figured that out, because or else we would have just duped it there. So go ahead and delete that from the list. I have it on his sheet. If you ever kill him.
Wait, we wouldn't kill Darian.
Oh, right,
Wait,
no, he's not the
Remy?
one
Yeah,
who
we
betrayed
parted
you.
on good terms.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
Who
I
is,
just confused him with
Not
Remy.
not the same as Remy.
Alright.
Yeah.
Like I said, too many characters. Alright, so yes, Darian has that short sword. It makes sense because of his class. But you do have the other stuff to trade. So is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna go and talk to your contacts?
Yeah, so I just have the great sword of sharpness. I'm just saying, I think you should give me one of the stones. I'm not gonna trade it, but like at least having it on me to be like, ooh, I have this for trade, will at least like make me seem somewhat more legitimate than just
Give you
I
some
vote
more
no.
the sword.
trader cred.
Yeah.
There's not many people who know what these shadow crystals are in the first place.
Well, Diddy says you could take some potions or something. I mean, those aren't as impressive, but it would make you seem more legit if you had smaller magical items to trade.
Yeah, you should take the
Alright.
plate armor of gleaming and the short sword +1, like, so you do have a few things, and then you can show those things first before you show the great sword, since that's the nicer item.
Yeah.
Okay,
It'd be nice to have
then-
on hand because it's useful in
Okay.
certain situations.
Potion
And
of
then-
animal friendship. I feel like you could take that with you.
Make
Yeah.
friends with the bat.
Okay.
What about
And
the filter? Oh, that's a recipe. Never mind.
And then what about any do we have any scrolls?
We do have a few, but they're pretty good ones. Healing, invisibility. I mean, animal friendship's not a big deal. You can take that one. Freedom of movement, revivify, sea invisibility, and water breathing. I mean, water breathing is situational, and we have the cap of water breathing.
I see a scroll of fireball. That also doesn't have a location. Wonder if someone took that.
That's one of the people we're gonna learn it for their spell.
Oh, so
One of
that
the-
was used
somebody
already?
as a wizard. No, they were going to use it to learn for their wizard book, but it has not been used yet. So that is something he could take, just not trade away.
Yeah, but who was it that was carrying it?
Who has the wizard
Do we
subclass?
have a wizard?
Is it someone that left?
I didn't think you guys had a wizard. I mean, Chomsky's
So- I
a
We did
an artificer.
for a short time. We had
We
But-
had one wizard, but we haven't had a wizard in a while. Oh,
Doesn't Malin have like a subclass into wizard at all or something? Or no?
can't keep track of all his
I don't
subclasses.
think so.
I thought
He's an
we were
artificer.
keeping it so somebody could use it.
yeah. I don't.
Or so
That
somebody
might be
could learn
something
from
to
it.
check with Malin on.
All right.
Where
just-
that came from.
So maybe I'll just assume you still have it. If you duped a scroll of fireball, I wouldn't be as annoyed. But
Let's move it. Let's
Yeah,
move
let
it
me-
with the other
So,
scroll.
yeah.
Let me-
I don't know
let
why
me- yeah,
would
let
do
me-
that rather than.
Let me take the scroll of fireball and the scroll of revivify. Those are both.
okay, and you don't
Um,
have to take them off the party sheet unless
Like,
you actually trade them.
Arapal specifically created the scroll
Yeah.
of Revivify as a backup
okay.
for our party
Yeah.
when we're out of
Gotcha.
spell slots.
Yeah, Chomsky's holding on to that one.
But the scroll of fireball maybe. And yeah, you don't actually have to take any of these off the party sheet unless you end up trading them, just so we don't have to keep moving them back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, so you go head up into the city.
And also
along
taking
with,
taking some of the uncommon, magic items that aren't as valuable still would give you something to trade for other useful but not super rare stuff that he might have,
Yeah. Yeah, so you two are heading up into the city. Are you doing anything to protect yourself from being found out? Because you are wanted right now.
Me too?
Mm,
Yeah, everyone is.
The whole group.
I
Like disguise, or you want to use stealth, or just in general. Like, or are you just gonna like brazenly walk the streets and hope nothing happens?
I guess I can cast invisibility on myself.
Alright, so you're gonna use Invis. What about you, Hohenheim?
I am going to have a hood on.
Could I cast disguise self on him? does
Isn't
that
that
only
self
work on-
only?
Is it?
It says
bet that it
self,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's right there in the name. That would be funny. A disguise self. Target creatures.
Yeah.
Would you
Some-
like?
yeah.
Would you like me to augment your skills in some way for an hour before you leave?
Yeah, if you could give me the golden, if you give me a silver tongue, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. If I upcast enhance ability, can I choose different abilities for each of the people I cast it on, or would it be the same one on both?
Can you link the spell?
Mhm.
Let's see. I think it would have to be the same because it
Okay.
says you target
give them-
multiple ones, but you have to choose one.
All right, I'll do that at level 4, and then I'll give, or not level 4, level 3, and then I'll give them both silver tongues.
Okay,
Basically.
so the charisma, Eagle
Fox's
Splendor.
cunning.
Well, Fox's cunning is intelligence.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
I think it's Eagle Splendor is the charisma one. Yeah, Eagle
You
Splendor.
think Fox's cunning would be the charisma one, but
All right. So give me. All right. So you're doing invisibility. So if you're gonna sell yourself as some kind of magical items trader, I don't need a roll from Hohenheim because you're not doing any trickery. I assume you're just telling people about a concert, just to get like to get some buzz going. So give me a deception roll, Glenn. You would have advantage. So far, the invisibility has protected you. I assume you're going to drop it to talk to your contacts, though, right?
yeah.
Okay. So 28. You do a pretty good job selling yourself, using the items you took as proof of some of your wares. And you actually only need to use 2 of your contacts instead of
Nice.
3
Woo!
to get the meeting set up.
Sweet.
There's not a time yet, but your contacts say they'll get back to you with the information because they have to go talk to their contacts and get the meeting set.
Much obliged, my friend.
Now, how are you... Actually, hang on. Hohenheim, you're using a hood. Just a hood,
And I'm gonna
right?
be like a little sneaky.
Oh, he's disguised as well, right?
No, he just has a
No.
hood.
Oh.
It's a pretty pretty tall construct with a hood. So he's kind of towering above all the doors.
I got like a big long cloak and a hood, yeah.
Although you probably are the only 7-foot person in that hall. It's either like
well, you know.
4 foot, 7 foot, or 20 foot. Those are the 3 heights in this place. So you're
You
like,
know what? They all look like ants to fire giants, man.
well, sort of. He is a little noticeable, but go ahead and give me a stealth check, Hohenheim, if you're using stealth.
Okay.
And sneaky. Basically just decreases your chance of a random encounter.
Hey, I'll
Or
take
at least
that.
a bad random encounter. Alright, so yeah, you're fine. You sneak around, you get the buzz going, spending your 3 contacts. And are you gonna use your last contact, Glenn? Or are you just gonna save it?
I'll use it for the concert.
Okay. And you're not invisible anymore. So are you gonna do any trickery to get back to base, or are you just gonna chance it?
I have the scroll of fireball, FYI.
Ah, there we go.
So,
So now we know
makes
who has
sense. Okay, yeah, so I just lend it to you so you can go on your shit with it.
it. Yeah.
I would
You want to be sneaky or?
Yeah, I would just be sneaky.
All right, stealth check. Look at that. Yeah, you're good. So the two of you, even with Hohenheim being like 7 feet tall and very noticeable, you manage to avoid any bad encounters and get back later in the day. So I'll say it's about 7 p.m. now. It was about 3 hours of walking around and talking. What does the group want to do? Or shall I just pass time?
I'm okay just passing time, and we can just hang out for the next day, I guess.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Glenn has the like, just for some reason, an ungodly powerful pull to just whip out his Saturn and start playing music right next to Usla.
She was.
I want to go over and be background music again. Every time I see Glenn play, I get all really excited, and I run over and join in.
All right.
Arapel's eyes stop shifting and they always stay on green whenever you're playing.
Yeah, he's still trying to like somewhat kind of make up a theme song for Usla.
You just kind of walk up to Uslag and start playing.
Have you listened to Uslag's playlist?
Uslag
has a playlist, yeah.
Uslag.
Fucking hilarious. What a good fucking meme, Carly. That's a good one.
So what? So yeah, I guess I don't know. Uslag is maybe going through her stuff or cleaning her weaponry when.
She's just focusing more on the sword.
Glenn walks up and just starts playing music to her.
It's like I made some advances on your theme song. Usla,
What?
she fights in the night for all that is right.
It's got some 80s vibes going there.
Yeah, I got background. Playing background.
Apparently, Mikey jumps in.
She just gets really uncomfortable. She's trying not to.
Hohenheim is just overly enamored with Glenn. He just loves it.
Defender of you and me. Defender of eternity. Usla, Usla, she rides in the night to fight for what's right.
It's good. Good job.
Thank you. I'm still working on the chorus.
Great. Continues to her sword.
It's just you just hear like Hohenheim's just like humming to himself after you guys.
Uslag, she's a Uslag.
Here says, you know,
You're not being creative.
there's probably magic that could make your voice much louder, Glenn. And like make you echo through all the chambers down here.
So that the giants
Oh
come
my
running
God.
faster.
Rando says, I think that's a bad idea, Gears. I don't think we want to draw attention to this place. She says, no, I mean for the concert. Like while he's if he's gonna play his music, maybe he could boom it through the caves. And Rando just says, I still don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm more okay with that than him booming it down here for Uslag, who looks terrified. And he smiles. All right.
He puts on a show. Like he's gonna do, like I imagine this is what Hendrix would do if he had magic. He's gonna cast telekinesis on his guitar, and he's gonna like air guitar, but it's gonna actually play music.
Pull out a second guitar that you're playing while your telekinesis plays the other one.
Oh my God, yes.
Mage hand plays like a third one.
I wanna go up to Glenn and can be like,
Can we make song together about revolution?
Ooh. That could be our closing song. A song about revolution. Interesting. I love it.
Hohenheim gets all giddy and claps his hands like he did something good.
Diddy would
What
say,
better to stoke the fires of revolution than song?
or Gears would whisper, so yeah, you want me to make you something to boost your voice?
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
She says, I'll get to work on it. I might need some arcane components if you have them.
Yes, take everything you need. No questions asked.
She says,
How much?
I will teleport back to the city if I need to.
So it's probably more than a simple cantrip. Say like she says to be safe, maybe 100 maho worth.
That seems fair.
She says that if I need more, I can tell you, but that should
Here, take 1,000 just in case.
Wait, hold up, bud.
It's just raiding
Unless
the party treasury.
Yeah, unless you got arcane components hidden somewhere in your guitar or something.
Chomsky's looking over the paperwork. He's like, "Nah, this goes over budget. We're in the red now. This is not doable." Do you have your own supply of arcane components, or are you just taking them from the party?
I wouldn't take them from the party. I have 100 on me, but I'm pretty sure I've even given that from the party. Yeah, just so I could cast Greater Restoration without the mat if I needed to.
All right. So you're gonna give her 100 from the party treasury?
Yep, I already took it out.
All right. So she is working on that for you. And yeah, time is passing. So the rest of the day would pass, no issue. You would have food from Uslog's gathering of food. You have a pretty good stockpile. Don't worry about eating. So it is now the 4th of spring. Early in the morning. 8 a.m. What do you want to do? Or shall we just pass some more time until
Has Glenn gotten an audience invite yet?
Well,
for this?
I mean, you can't get mail down here. He'd have to go out and check with his contacts.
Okay.
But they said they needed some time, so you guess at least a day. So probably you could probably go speak with them today and see what they got.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd wait until maybe around like noon or 1 o'clock, maybe, and kind of.
Okay.
I'd go out myself, cast invisibility, and go meet.
I will cast my spell again as well.
Ooh, thank you.
All right.
I guess I'll do it at level 3 this time since you're going alone, I guess.
Yeah.
You mean level 2?
Level 2. Yeah, I keep doing that. I keep counting the
there's a... I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but there's a weird bug in Baldur's Gate where if you do the enhance ability as part of a dialogue, it uses a level 3 spell slot instead of a 2.
Oh.
I have no idea why it does that.
Oh.
Or maybe it's just me it does it for. I don't know.
That sounds about right. House rules.
Yeah.
How's it feel like to be on the other side?
Doesn't feel good. I don't like it.
It has a lot of house.
I'd yell at my DM if I could. Computer doesn't care though.
You always can yell.
Yeah. All right, so we'll pass time till noon. Arapel, you're working on your potion, right?
Yeah.
Now, what about the rest of you?
Well, actually, wouldn't I have done that yesterday when they went out and did their thing?
Well, yesterday was the day we rolled, I think. That was the last
Oh, okay.
day.
They went out in the evening. It wasn't like an all day.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was like
okay,
afterwards.
yeah, then I'll work on it today. Yeah.
All right. So if you guys don't have one, I would say you can start a new project. Those of you that finished your old one, just record what you're doing in the projects. Uslog, you're just working on food, right?
I mean, if we need it, there's also training and smithing if Gears or Chomsky wants to help me out. But
Oh, true.
It's not super
Yeah, I guess you probably have
of
enough food
interest.
for a while, so if you want to start a new project or work on one you have going, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Would Gears have that sort of skill to teach, or is she more of like a
Gears does have several tool skills. What are you looking to learn?
I've been working on smithing for a while, but just slowly.
Yeah, she could teach you.
Get a few more.
You would just have to pay for each day of learning, not necessarily to her, but for materials and stuff. So whatever the do you have a project for that already?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it say in your project how much it costs each day?
It does
Let's
not.
see. Yeah, I just have trading.
Alright, so usually training to learn smithing, right?
Yeah.
Let me look it up. Downtime.
She wants to learn how to make her weapons better someday. She loves those weapons.
They redid the compendium. It looks all fancy. They've redone everything except what I really want them to redo, which is the stupid map screen, which is ridiculously poorly designed. Alright, let's see. Training. 25 gold per work week, so 5 gold pieces a day for training. Whenever you might want to put it in the description just so you know. Whenever
Yeah, bring it
you're
in
learning, you
resources.
spend 5 gold pieces that day. Because I don't want to charge you for the whole 50 days, because that would be quite a lot, and that might be split up. So
Yeah.
just remember you have to pay
Yeah,
5
and I do it
GP.
so rarely anyway. It's like weeks
Yeah.
between sessions. So, okay. I'll do 5 gold pieces for today.
Okay, so you're doing that. Anyone else doing anything?
I'm gonna start making potions of necrotic resistance.
Okay, so you start a project for that. That one. Let's see. It's is it a half price
uncommon.
or a quarter price for that?
Oh, link it. It's a quarter time and half price, I think, or it could be.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh no, just kidding. That's the wrong one. There it is. Quarter of the time and half the price. So I have
Okay.
20 hours and 100 gold piece.
All right, so
So
it's uncommon. So it's 100 gold pieces to make, and it would be quarter of the time would be about 2.5
20
days.
hours. Cool.
So yeah, 20 hours exactly. So go ahead and start a project for that.
Cool.
Pay the gold, or pay the maho for it. The arcane components.
Cool. Taken
Uh,
out.
All right. Anyone else?
I'm gonna do the 50 gold pieces carousing.
Okay. So yeah, just spend the gold, start your project. And then there's nothing else. I'll just pass some time. I think I think that's everyone. Everyone who's here. Everyone has a project. So in the afternoon. Oh, Glenn, what's do you have a new project you're starting?
Not really.
You don't have to do one, but you would have the downtime if you want to use it for something. Because it doesn't take the whole day to talk to your contacts. It's like maybe an hour or two.
Is there any way I can maybe enhance my rhythm maker's drum from a +1 to a +2, or
That
what
would
that
be more of a like crafting thing.
okay?
I don't know. Yeah, I think you might have to just make a fresh one. I don't think you can upgrade. At least I don't have rules for it. So you might have to do research on something like that, and then we'd have to figure out what would be involved in it. But you could try to craft a +2 if you have a recipe. Which I don't know if you have one.
No, I mean I just have the +1 version. I figure maybe I could do research on finding a way to enhance it, but
You could do research to try to find a recipe for a +2. If you want to spend time in the library. Remember, that's an intelligence check, though, so I don't know how good you are at those. Or you could have, like, asked someone to do it for you.
I will think on that. I will spend today my downtime just smoking and drinking, and I will think on what I want to do as a new project.
Alright, just
So, yeah,
relaxing
got me
for
off.
now. Alright. So, around 12 o'clock, you go out to talk to your contacts. They would tell you that the head of Esben household, a dwarf by the name of Gregaro, is very interested in seeing what sort of wares you have. He's heard good things from his people because of your 2 contacts you spent, and would like to set something up.
Hell yeah! All right.
So
I am ready for whenever.
at this point, the ball is kind of in your court when you want to do this.
I would say I am very eager to meet with the head of such a prestigious household, and I want to meet them as soon as possible, whenever it's convenient. I would be okay with now, but I know there may be more time required for a meeting such as that.
So the contact would go speak with House Kesben people, come back a little later, and he would tell you that the soonest he could meet you would be in a day, so tomorrow.
That is fine, and I would ask if, I guess, where the meeting would take place.
It would be at his estate.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I would thank them and then go on my way back to the sewers.
Okay.
Well, I'd invis myself again.
Alright, so use Invis to avoid encounters. It would have to be 2 invisibilities, one to get up and one to go back.
But that's fine, yeah, I figured it was fine.
Alright. Hohenheim. Let's see, your project is on the surface, so there is some danger. I'll have you give me a D100 roll. Don't roll too low.
Oh shit! You want me to just do it right to you?
Don't
So we can
roll
build
too,
suspense?
too low.
You can whisper it or just roll it in the chat, whatever works. Okay.
Oh,
You mean you're fine. Yeah, you're fine today. Nothing happens. You do your day of carousing, meeting with several prominent dwarves. Oh, you're doing the 251 or the 51?
just the 51.
Okay,
I
so
didn't
middle
want to use
class.
any more of the party treasury since we already established. Yeah, so middle class.
So more the working
Oh.
class average Joes.
Speaking of, I need to borrow like 10 gold because I don't have enough to cover that.
The proletariat.
I'll
All right.
Can I
have
borrow
10
10
golds.
gold?
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll watch you.
Alright.
Well, I guess I could have covered it, but that leaves me with 18 gold now, so I'm rolling.
Hohenheim's getting low on gold. All
I
right.
don't need it.
Anything else going on today? Or are we waiting till tomorrow?
Pass the time, sir.
All right. So
After Glenn, make some more music next to us.
Rando would kind of come to the group in the evening and say, I've gotten a lot of the information I need for our heist. I assume you all are still in for this.
Oh yeah, we were doing that.
He nods. He says that was originally our plan before talk of rebellion and an overthrow of the fire giants, which I'm fine with, but I'm hoping that you all still wish to break into the vaults with me and get quite a bit of gold, possibly other things of value.
I mean, I'm basically fulfilling every boy's dream. I'm going to lead a rock concert, and I'm going to be a part of a heist. Those are like two dreams that every boy has when they're young,
Miranda
and
says,
I
well, I
get to
don't
live
know.
them out.
I don't know about every boy, but it is certainly exciting. No one has seen the riches of the old Tharian vaults for quite some time. The fire giants have kept it all pretty well guarded. In fact, I don't know if they've even been inside those vaults.
Think about it. We could be opening a vault that might not have seen fresh air for hundreds of years.
Exactly. And the riches of the dwarves are legendary, so I'm expecting this will be definitely worth the time. A city like this, they must have had quite a bit of money. But the reason I was coming to you is that there might be another place that's worth hitting, since you all are criminals now anyway. It also might have some items that could help us with the heist. There is an old forge which kind of doubles as a shrine to Moradin. Of course, now the fire giants have commandeered it just to use the forge part. But I believe they're storing little, uh, quite a little collection of valuables there. And if you're interested, I might have an inn for you to hit it quickly, get the loot, and kind of do a smash and grab thing. You'll just have to be quick, as fire giant reinforcements will show up. It'll be late at night, so it'll take them longer, but you definitely will have limited time in there.
Well, I'm personally all for it. Hit it and quit it. So
He kind of looks to the rest of the group.
Fancy nobleman, what does hit it and quit it mean?
I more use the term smash and grab. Hit it and quit it has a different connotation, and he looks at Glenn and then looks back at you all.
Glenn just smiles and puts his hands on his hip.
But
I'm just looking around confused.
with this, do you think you're up to such a task, or would you rather just leave this alone?
Does a Drider shit in the Underdark?
I believe so.
Then hell yeah.
Excellent.
I'd be down. Yeah.
Is Rando's name Rando?
Says, well, technically my name is not Rando, but people certainly call me Rando. So we'll say yes for the purposes of this conversation.
That means yes.
He says, excellent. I'll get you more information about the theft. I don't think there's going to be much subtlety to it. Once you're inside, you're just going to have to fight a bunch of fire giants. And just do what you do quickly and leave quickly. You could stay longer to try to get more. I'll leave that up to you. But the longer you stay, the more likely reinforcements will arrive.
Well, maybe I can, depending on the layout, well, we have to scout ahead or see what we come across. But maybe we should designate one or two people for the smash and grab, and the rest of us can try. Because I know myself and Hohenheim have pretty powerful magic when it comes to keeping the fire giants controlled.
Says, oh, that's right. You guys have magic. So I don't know. Maybe if you trust your stealthing skills, the giants will attack on sight. There's no reason why any smaller people will be in there. But if you can evade their notice, like maybe even you could even sneak in and steal some stuff without them getting you, but I will warn you, fire giants are very perceptive, so it'll be
You're
difficult.
smaller people.
What?
What?
Said you're smaller people.
Says we are smaller people. I don't think they'd like seeing me in there either.
I get a little offended because I'm like 7 foot tall and I think I'm a tall person.
He says, "Well, you are a tall construct, my friend, but the giants are more than double your size. I assume you know this."
Hey, hold on. Have you ever you met like a gnome, right?
I look over at Chomsky.
Yeah.
Hi.
Chomsky. So like, okay, so fire giants look at you like you look at Chomsky.
I don't
Master?
know if that's a good comparison.
Okay, fire giants look at you like you look at ants.
Yeah,
Oh.
they are quite large. Randa will say.
I love ants.
But anyway, yeah, I just thought I'd let you know. All right, so this was in the evening after everyone got through their work for the day when he came to you with this. So, does anyone have any rolls to make? Assuming not. Oh wait,
No.
Arapel, you have one, right? Or no, you just create your
Oh.
thing. You don't have a roll.
It's the second day, right? That we're doing then.
Yeah, this is the 4th of spring. This is the day after the finish of all the projects you guys had done yesterday. All right.
Oh, so this is only the first day of downtime activities, is what you're saying.
After the last completed one, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I will pass time then, as I assume you all are just waiting for tomorrow.
Unless there's a roll I can make to melt Uslog's icy heart.
I don't think so. It's pretty icy. She doesn't appreciate your music.
Malin
will-
is schmoozing, what's her name, and now you're like taking an interest in Uslugs.
I will make Uslog love music.
I think he's more like, it's less like romantic and more like
Yeah,
he just wants
yeah.
to have her love his music. Luckily,
So
she's
it's
AFK
like a
right
focus,
now.
yeah. Like
You shall understand the beauty of music one way or another, but if I have to force you.
All right, so your
That
music,
kind of rapey.
your music warms the halls of their base. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
All right.
Can I roll because I just for shits and giggles, even though I know he's gonna roll amazing, just because I'm accompanying.
You're just like following him around as a backup singer.
We'll figure it out.
It's a very impressive display of musical
Those
aptitude.
rolls.
now
Is
you're
the,
gonna nat one in some pivotal moment.
wasting those crits. But
That's
yeah,
not a thing. Hohenheim just crit master.
everyone is impressed by your performance as you make everyone's heart melt just a little bit, even Uslog's.
Here we go.
She tries to hide it. Yeah.
Just gives you the nod of respect. All right, so it is now the 5th of spring. And I assume middle of the day, so no one's completed their downtime project yet. But I assume you're going to go have this meeting.
Yep.
All right, is anyone going with you?
I don't.
How
I would-
far? How long does it take to travel from our base to the meeting?
To the manor, I mean, you can use the old sewers to get there pretty easily.
All right, I'd like to accompany him to like the sewer exit or something, and cast my spell on him when he's much closer.
Okay.
Do you think 2 Warforged could help you in negotiations?
Nah, I don't think so. I think this one would be best for me to do alone.
We could be a token of rare objects you have acquired.
Actually, taking either a Warforged or Uslug with you would actually probably look legit, because someone carrying around really valuable items might have some backup.
It makes a
that's
good
true.
point. Diddy says. I mean,
I guess
the
a
city
real
is
merchant would have a bodyguard.
yeah, especially if you had valuable items. The city is a bit dangerous at times.
Well,
I
that
have a very
means
good bodyguard.
I would say somebody tall and imposing. So either Hohenheim or Uslag, probably. Who wants to go
Why
on an
not?
adventure?
Why not both?
It's 10 o'clock.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
Bad
definitely
idea.
would. I do want to go.
We might draw
but-
more attention that way.
Well,
You go ahead,
Especially,
a merchant with multiple bodyguards, especially one carrying magical items, is not. It wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary. Rando says.
but we
Again,
are very distinct. So the more of us that goes, the more recognizable we are as the party that has been shaking things up.
Says it is true, assuming the Lord would even care about such things.
you know what? I can invisibility us all if I upcast it.
Okay.
I can. I'll
I
cast it
could
at 4th
disguise
level.
myself.
Well, actually, the manor, you could just use the sewers to get there, avoiding suspicion.
Well,
So
Okay.
That's
you
easy.
don't. Yeah, you don't need it as much as like when you're going into the city proper, where there's not as many sewer tunnels.
So who's going in?
I
Yeah, if
think.
it makes you seem more important, then yeah, I'm happy to be your bodyguard.
Yeah, Glenn, Hohenheim, Arapel, and Uslag, I believe.
Oh, 4 of us. Okay.
Because you said you wanted to go as well,
Well,
right?
Chomsky
didn't.
would go if
Oh.
everybody else is going.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're taking that many, we might as well all go, especially if we're going to pop out of the sewers and kind of be pretty close to the gate and not have to traverse the city. Because that's the whole reason we haven't been going around the city altogether, is because we're trying to stay unseen, right?
Yeah, partially, and partially you all have different projects you're working on, so you're kind of doing your own thing.
Well, I mean, I'd
And-
like to be there for stuff. I just have been staying in the sewer because I thought that like I said, I thought we were just
Yeah, well,
Trying
this sort of thing in
escape notice.
particular, like where you're trading super valuable items, it is definitely not suspicious to have like an entourage with you to help protect them.
Well, in that case, I think everyone who wants to go should go. Honestly, quite a few of us have some good persuasion that, who knows, at some point might be able to swoop in and save us, save something, and
That's
those
right.
of us
This
with
is
good
the-
perception might
This
see
is
something.
the persuasive party.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Glenn's gonna see more than the rest of us, no matter what. But
Still.
yeah.
All right.
Um,
So the group is heading over to the manor.
I will put enhance ability like just outside the manor on Glenn. I think Glenn, Hohen, and Arapel are the highest charisma. Is that right?
I think so.
All right. So then here's level 4.
And then who are we meeting again? Sorry.
The guy's name is Gregaro Kesbin.
Why do I keep thinking the name Pitchfire? Is that somebody else that we were?
There is
Trying to meet up with-
another. Well, there's another family, the Pitchfire family, but I believe it's
Okay.
a different part of the city.
Okay.
That they're in the northern halls.
I feel like it came up somewhere along the lines that that's someone we need to see about something or we might encounter for something. And so then I had that name in mind for this, but okay, yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
So you head to the Kesbin Manor, a very large stone house / manor that has a big stone gate around it with guards keeping an eye on things.
And I do my magic as
So,
we're
Just
approaching the gate. yeah.
Just for reference for the things we needed is a key from the Kesbin family. This is where the distraction should be held that we needed to acquire, but this actually may work out in our favor. The second was a map of the Molten Chapel by the Pitchfire family.
Ah,
And then we needed to gain the cooperation of the Dweger guards in front of the chapel.
okay.
Okay.
Wait, we need a key and a map.
We need the
to
key
break
from
into
the
the-
guy that we're gonna go see right now.
Yeah.
Well,
So, like, is that right?
did you need the key from the Kesben? Hang on, I thought that was a different.
That
group.
was
Oh, I thought that's what he just said.
session before last. I have it in the journal.
You might be right. Let me. I thought it was a different family. But yeah, no, I think it is. All right, so yeah, you need the key, and was it a map as well? Well,
The
anything.
map was from the pitchfires, I guess.
Yeah, well, anything
Map
that
of the facility.
they might have that could help with the Molten Chapel, but Rando would warn you not to be too deliberate in asking for things like this because it might tip them off that you're trying to do a heist.
So-
Isn't that sort of what the rock concert's for? Is a distraction so that we can.
Well, I mean, it's for a distraction, but it's also well, it's not a distraction for the main heist. That rock concert is a distraction for something else they're stealing.
So my question is what do we need from this guy we're going to go see right now?
I think
Other
this
than the fact
guy's
that he
the
might
key.
have cool items. Okay, so he has a key that we need, but we can't just ask for the key. We have to be roundabout.
Just be
or
subtle
see-
about it,
see if
Rando
we
would
can
say.
lift it. Okay.
Well, I thought we were also. Isn't this we're trying to maybe sow seeds of dissent for
Well,
rebellion?
that's your personal task.
That's yeah.
That's
we-
not.
we
Rando
keep-
doesn't care
we
about.
keep- We
that.
keep introducing revolution into the story.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, you definitely can. But yeah, that's not something Rando's asking you to do. That's
Okay,
your own
okay.
thing. So anyway, you all come out of like a great area, sneaking up to the main manor. There are 2 guards at the gate who would stop you. A couple of guards up on the like wall are definitely watching you with their crossbows. Not trained on you, but like kind of off to the side. They have their hands on them just in case. The guard walks up. He looks at you and he says something in Dwarvish.
Which I speak.
Okay, so if you speak that, he says, "What's your name and business?"
Hello, my name is Glenn Whisperwind. I have an appointment here with Gregario Kisben. I am the magic item trader.
He looks at his little scroll. He says, "Kisben. Yeah, okay. You're expected. Let me check with Gregario and make sure everything's in order. Wait here a moment." And he goes
He
in the
bows.
house.
Of
The,
course.
the other guy kind of looks over the group. He would say, "You're all pretty heavily armed for a meeting with the patriarch. What's your business with all this weaponry?"
Well, these are my bodyguards. As you can probably imagine, carrying around magic items, especially several of them, can be pretty dangerous. I mean, my whole life's work can essentially be undone by a band of thugs that are stronger than my bodyguard.
Give me a persuasion with advantage.
Well, he already has advantage, right, from enhanced ability.
Yeah,
yeah,
I guess
that's what
that's true.
it's-
That's one.
All right, so he just sort of nods. He says, "Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Once you're inside, you will be expected to surrender your weapons till you leave. I hope that's not a problem." He says, "No one goes to meet with the master fully armed."
For the record, there are no visible weapons on Arapel.
Yeah, he's more talking about like the big
Uslog?
the big sword on Uslog's back, and maybe Chomsky's hammer, and yeah.
Of
I guess
course,
Hohenheim
I mean,
doesn't have anything.
I have a small dagger.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you'll allow hopefully you'll allow a crippled man his cane still.
Give
my
me. Did you come up limping? I didn't think you were trying to act crippled.
He totally did.
Give me.
And
Well,
you have a cane?
I do have a cane. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have like? Is it a magical staff?
No, it's literally just like a
Just
cane.
the staff.
It's-
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing
Or a
like
cane.
special about it.
So
at all.
basically a club if you were to wield it in combat. Or maybe a quarterstaff. I don't
Right.
know.
Which honestly I wouldn't. I just don't want to give it up.
Yeah. Where is Arapel's her weapon?
In my compartment of holding.
Okay, so it's in your bag right now. All right, so the guy comes back out. He nods, and the two of them kind of motion for you to follow. He's speaking in common now.
Right.
He
Slogan's
assumes
not
the,
happy about giving up her weapons, but
Yeah, they lead you to the front
it.
door where there are about 8 more guards and 2 figures that look like, well, they're dressed in robes, so you'd guess they're some kind of magic users. As you walk in, one of them begins chanting, casting some sort of spell, and they would, yeah.
Is it? Can I? Anything I can do to identify the spell?
Yeah.
You can identify the level of it if you want to do a Arcana check.
Okay, my eyes just kind of like flash as I. Okay,
Oh,
one shot.
cool.
Wow, it's like 2 crits. It is a first level spell, whatever he did. So not very
It's
powerful.
probably detect magic or something.
Okay, then
so
I'll let it go.
the guy at the table would kind of motion for you to come over, and he says, surrender any arms you might have. They'll be kept here. Don't worry, they'll be safe. We're not going to take them anywhere or do anything.
So, just to clarify, where are the magic items that we are planning to offer as wares? Who's carrying them?
That's a good
Are
question.
they still in the places that we had them, and we just so they're still like maybe they're still in Arapel, and we didn't take them out for this purpose? But just I wanted to clarify before we go forward.
Yeah, we could assume that they're in a bag of holding or something.
all bundled up
Okay.
together.
So
I
then,
would
yeah.
also-
So the great sword, the short sword, and the other littler items, the scrolls and stuff, are all in Arapel. Well, the fireball scroll we said Hohenheim has, right?
Yes. Now,
Yeah, I
which
would've
short
given it up
sword are
with
you
the rest
talking
of it.
about?
The great sword of sharpness. It's that one's listed in the party inventory because it's party property, but it is in Arapel.
Yeah.
And then
The short sword plus
the short
one.
sword plus one
Okay.
was Arapel's weapon before he got the sensor, so it's actually in his inventory. But they're both in Arapel's bag of like compartment of holding.
Okay.
I just track the 2 weights separately. The party stuff that belongs to the party versus stuff that belongs to
I
me.
fear we just everything we brought to sell was just stuff in Arapel's bag.
Okay,
right now.
so then Arapel is standing there with a shield, and he doesn't move unless they end up focusing on him or asking more.
Chauncey's gonna hand over his hammer.
No, they wouldn't ask for your shield. If do you have it in your hand or on your back?
It's adhered to my arm, and it would show a magical signature. That's why I wasn't sure if they would say anything.
So if it looks like you're holding it, one of the guards would say, "All shields away as well. You won't need it."
Away, as in stow
So
it,
it's-
or
He
leave
says,
it
yeah,
with them.
stow your shield. You don't have to leave it with us, but
All right,
yeah.
I'll use an action to put the shield on my back,
All right.
and it like just adheres to me like magnet.
Clank. All right. So you give up your weapons, and no one's trying to hide anything, I assume.
Well, I assume I'm able to
Me?
keep my cane and my,
Yeah, no, they
my
did-
loot.
They didn't take your cane or your loot.
Okay.
Uh,
I have all the
so
weapons I need.
several of the guards will lead you deeper into the house, along with that robed one, to. Or actually, wait. Sorry. Before you leave, the one is going to drop whatever spell he was concentrating on and cast another spell. Which I assume you're going to try to identify the level.
You. Oh.
I'm gonna
What'd
try
you
to
get?
identify as well.
It is. Loading. Hang on. I'm actually
That's
not
a
sure
level
what
I haven't
level
heard
it
of
is.
before.
It's got to be high level if it's that.
I'm not sure what level this spell is, so hang on. Yeah, my compendium is not being cooperative. Let me try refreshing.
We slug fire with these fucking memes today.
I guess I need to
Memes.
switch back to that screen.
Well, I wonder if the compendium is down. I refreshed and it's still just loading. It was just working a moment ago. I think this is a level 2 spell.
Oh.
And you would also notice his eyes kind of flash whenever he casts.
No, never mind. I'm not gonna fucking retro shit.
Yeah, we want
I was
we
gonna say, I
want them to
would've-
think we're legit, so let's let him do his thing. This
I
is
would've
just his
casted
security procedure.
The telepathic bond before we got in, but
Oh, it'd be too late at this
point.
point. Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
too late.
All right.
So he leads you deeper into the house to a kind of a study-looking area where there's a bunch of books, and sitting at a long table surrounded by armored dwarves is an older-looking dwarf who would smile and give you a polite bow as you walk in. He says, "I've heard good things about you, friend.
White
Welcome.
Walker.
Welcome, Glenn."
He would bow back to him, and he'd raise his arms. Well, thank you. I take it that you are Gregario, the man I've come to meet finally.
This is Gregaro, but
Oh,
yeah,
Gregaro, I apologize.
no worries. Have a seat. I'm interested
pleasure.
in seeing some of these wares. If you just want to lay them out on the table here and tell me a bit about them.
Of course, he goes to sit down, and these are my bodyguards. Arabelle, if you would please lay the items out on the table.
Of course. And he'll step forward and he'll open his compartment and start pulling out the 2 swords. What did we say? Like the cap of water breathing and this.
Some
Was the
potions and some
potions?
scrolls.
The potion of animal friendship, the scroll of fireball. I would pull out the sword, the great sword last.
Oh, and the plate. Oh, yeah, the plate armor.
Oh, the plate armor of gleaming as well. I'd pull out the great sword of sharpness last.
All right, so he's looking over your stuff. He says, I'm assuming you're going to tell him what each of them do.
Yeah, he would start with the potion of animal friendship, and then he would go to the potion or the scroll of fireball, and
All right.
explain the cap of water breathing, the short sword, the plate armor, and then last, sell it on the great sword of sharpness.
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
So it's a
Would
wash.
that be a wash? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be a wash if you have your. Oh wait. Ooh. Hang on a second.
Uh-oh.
I forgot you had that. So, shoot. As you came in, I'll just rewind a bit. The wizard would say, or the robed dwarf would say, "You must remove all enchantments from yourself. This sale is going to be done spell free. No enhancements from either party."
I would look to Glenn, but I
Sorry,
mean,
I
Arabelle
completely
thinks
forgot
that
about
sounds
that.
completely reasonable, but it's understandable.
go.
We would do the same thing if we could,
Alright,
Yeah.
am I allowed to cast detect magic or
Yep.
cast
That's
magic
exactly what I was
to
gonna
make
do.
sure that you all are following your own rules?
He says, "Of course, as long as you're not trying to cast any other spells, make sure you identify what you're casting if you're going to do magic."
All right, I'll release my spell, or I would have released my spell when the mage required
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Cool.
And you're doing
Oh.
detect magic, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
If
So
that is okay.
yeah. So fast forward back
So,
to him.
26.
Doesn't matter. 26.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You would know he doesn't have any spells on him, at least none you can detect. So he says, I'm a little surprised, Glenn. A lot of these items are quite mediocre. I thought you dealt in fairly obscure and powerful items. Although, I will say that Greatsword is a little tempting to me. But all the rest of this stuff is fairly common.
Well, I
Do you
did
have
liquidate.
Do you have any other pieces of rarity that I might not have seen? I know your kind likes to wow people like me. I suggest you put your good stuff up front because most of this stuff is less than impressive. And I am no normal merchant. I can offer you quite a bit in terms of money or items.
He nods, and I appreciate that. You've caught me at a bad time, unfortunately. Before traveling through here, I liquidated much of my rare stuff as I had an opportunity from another seller that was a bit greedy, shall we say, and wanted to buy almost everything I had. He thinks for a moment, and he looks over. He looks over to Chomsky though, like he winds his eyes, like, "Come on, please."
I will pull out an additional scroll. This is coming from Arapel's inventory. It's a level 4 scroll of banishment. I don't know. I mean, it's not anything big, but you know.
You place on the table. He says it's a little bit better, but still not all that impressive. It's not like I can't get scrolls from some of the traders around here. He says, "Come on, you must have something more unique." Go ahead.
If he or his people have a detect magic up, then all of us are probably glowing.
Well, his wizard does. You don't think he does. His wizard hasn't
right.
said anything. He's just kind of
Gotcha.
quietly observing everyone, keeping an eye on you, as well as his guards.
Question, Lou.
Yeah.
If I casted telepathic speech, I can just form that and talk, right? I don't need to. Like, it wouldn't show up as magical, would it?
It would have magic associated with it. It's not a cast, but you do. It is a magical effect, so he would see you doing it. It's probably something you'd want to try to identify, or you could just do it, but he might freak out.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify if that was because it's not like technically a spell; it's a class thing. So that's what I was just trying to verify. Okay, no, I'm not going to do that then.
Okay.
Let me confer with one of my companions. Is it okay if I use a simple message cantrip?
Says, of course.
He uses he just casts message, and turns to Chomsky, and says silently in the message, like, "Dude, come on, please. I just need to bring him to the table.
No.
I'm not gonna trade it.
Oh, this is bad.
I'm not gonna trade it. I just need to bring him to the table."
While they're discussing this,
I can't.
We don't hear it.
I chime in, or when I know they're doing this, I chime in and I say, "Master," and as I look at Glenn, I say, "Did you not offer me one time when the bargain was right enough?"
He says, "Oh, are the Warforged for sale?"
Well, I mean,
Did Uslag just say no?
No. She would not say anything because this is Carly.
Well, I've grown sentimental attachment to them, and they've been great bodyguards as well. I don't think I could afford to give them up, unfortunately.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I say I may have one other thing, but it's something of such grave and terrible power. I'm not sure if I should even bring it out to this table.
Give me persuasion or deception with advantage. All right.
Damn.
So his eyes kind of light up. He's like, yes, this must be what I've heard about you and your wares. Please let me see this thing of great power. I assure
Yeah,
you, I will be more than willing to give you a trade of equal or even greater value if it is unique.
I don't know that I would be able to part with it because it is so dangerous that it must never fall into the wrong hands, lest
Right.
the world be put in jeopardy.
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage. As you can see, he's getting a little annoyed.
Would that be? Oh no, the fellow's gone. Never mind.
20, still 25. Can you roll below a 25?
I can't, no.
Yeah. So he, you can tell he's a little bit annoyed, but he's still intrigued. And he says, well, out with it. Enough of this
He looks over.
teasing.
He looks over at Chomsky with just like pleading
I'll,
puppy dog eyes.
Look at Arapel and Uslag for any cues.
Arapel doesn't understand subtlety.
Beep boop.
Cool.
Yeah, Uslag just gives a shrug. I don't know.
A shrug of I don't
Looks
know.
uneasy, but she's trying not to.
Yeah.
Also, I should have asked you, are you trading magical items for gold, or do you wish magical items in return?
I would probably assume magical items in return.
He says,
Or items of great historical interest. We are scholars, you see.
Says, oh, well, we have a few of those as well. If you're looking more for art objects or relics, there are some very valuable ones, depending on the power and the uniqueness of whatever these items that you're hiding from me. Again, he seems a little annoyed. He says, that's great sword. I would be willing to trade for that, but first, I wish to see more of your wares, please. Enough with
I don't think
games.
Arapel would realize what you're considering right now, based on what's been said aloud. So yeah, I you know that he would vote against it, but like he's not going to weigh in on this scheme at the moment because I don't think he's picked up on it.
He's just like, come on, we gotta put our dick on the table.
Chomsky will start digging in his bag and pulls out a bunch of gems.
Oh, bunch of them! Oh my lord!
Like an amber gem,
Okay.
jade, sapphire, ruby. Puts those on the table. Looks at Glenn. And then oh man. I guess I'll pull out one of the partially charged shadow crystals and just hold it in my hand.
Alright, so you pull out the shadow crystal, and his eyes immediately go to it. He looks to the wizard, who does a spell, looks back at him, and he says, where did you get that? You can tell he's very interested in the shadow gem.
I'm gonna put it back away along with all the other gems.
He just put it away right away. He's
Yeah.
like, whoa, what?
We've,
Oh, go ahead.
well, like I said, it's dangerous to even be out in the open, but we received it. We've had some run-ins
He
with
says,
some shadow lords.
you say Shadow Lord, and he immediately pauses, looks at his wizard, who says, impossible. The Shadow Lord has been trapped. It's been 1,000 years since the Therian Empire and his imprisonment.
Yes, you are right. The Shadow Lord is trapped.
Give me a deception on that.
Interesting that you speak using singular cases in your nouns.
So now they're kind of looking suspiciously at the group, but Lord Kesbin says, I recognize that piece. It's a soul crystal, sometimes called a shadow crystal. The Therian Empire used them quite a bit to power the relics of the past. I'm very surprised to see you have one.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised we have it too.
Are you taking?
Quite dangerous.
All right. He says, "Where did you get it?"
Would you believe me if I told you I made it?
He kind of goes quiet for a moment, and he says, "How? The art of soul
That doesn't
crafting."
answer the question.
He says, "I might. I mean, stranger things have happened, but the art of soul trapping is one only held by the Shadow Lord and his people, or so I thought. Are you part of the cult of or Children of Shadow?"
No, never heard of them. But
Give me
yeah.
a deception. Again, he's starting to get a little bit more suspicious. He looks at Glenn and he says, "What trickery is this? Who are you people?"
He turns to Chomsky and he says, I believe it's time to lay all the cards out on the table and be honest.
I mean, what reason do we have to trust these folk? Who are they? They have a name, but really, who are they?
He says, "I'm
I would
Lord
be most-
Kesbin," and he seems like he's getting angry now. He says,
I would be most.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I would be most curious to know how you are so familiar with these objects and their history that you would recognize them so quickly and speak of Shadow Lord. Since most that we have encountered do not know these things.
Give me a persuasion. He seems a little annoyed now. Not disadvantage annoyed, but go ahead, give me persuasion. 13. He says, looking to you now, he seems like he likes Arapel a little bit better because of the Warforged thing. He says, "I am a student of history. I have studied the Therian Empire in great detail. This cavern, the city, I don't know if you know this or not, but their people lived here 1,000 years ago, back when they had dominance over this continent. And I know much of their ways. The art of crafting soul stones is something that history knows of. Those of us who are studied, anyway." He kind of
You
motions
say
to all
you're
the
a
books
study of
around
the
him.
story and then you don't know who I am. Interesting.
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage. He did not like that. Says, he gets up slamming his fists on the table and he says, "How dare you?" He says, "I am smarter than..." He says, "Who are you if you think you're so special?"
Please forgive. We are in a situation where we do not know you or trust you yet, and we understand that you are in the same situation. But we are attempting to be cautious because, as Glenn said, this is a very dangerous object.
And if you if you
It is
know what the soul
surprise-
crystal is, then you know how dangerous it can be.
So he's fuming a bit. Give me a persuasion with disadvantage, which is going to be a 25 probably.
Disadvantage.
Or a 31. So he calms down a little. He says, "Aren't you merchants? Or is that a lie?"
We are
No.
indeed interested in the trade of magic items, but as you know, this is not a standard magic item.
So he give me a persuasion with advantage as you piqued his interest again.
I was just trying to let him know that we weren't coming completely deceptively, like we were interested in knowing what magic items he might want to trade. But yeah, I guess I should really leave this up to Glenn.
Well, you have advantage. I mean, you have a good persuasion, 25.
I do, yeah.
So he says, I guess you must be someone of importance to have such a rare piece such as that. He says,
Well,
even if your people are quite rude, is he very much eyes Chomsky.
Apologies about their.
I'm the grumpy old gnome. I'm sorry. I
Grumpy
haven't
old
had
codger.
lollipops in quite some
May,
time.
if
Wait,
I
did you say
may,
that to him?
Yeah.
Sorry, you said
What?
I haven't had what in a long time?
I said, sorry, I'm a little grumpy. I haven't had my lollipops in a long time. Been on the road for a while.
if I may,
Go ahead.
Master Gagaro, if I may, I believe, based on our interests, we would both perhaps be willing or eager, both parties would be willing to share more knowledge with one another if we could establish some accord, some trust. But again, as we are still mostly strangers, may I ask your disposition, your thoughts, your feelings on the Shadow Lord and their doings and their role in the Therian Empire that you spoke of? Like, what from what you've read of history, do you admire them? What are your thoughts?
He eyes you a bit, as if thinking for a moment. He says, well, their magic was certainly impressive. Their ability to create such powerful magical batteries. However, their methods were questionable. They
then
did
you
not.
are aware of
He would
the
say,
cost.
He says, yes, they did not have a respect for the hierarchy of the empire, which meant sometimes they would target people of higher station, which is unacceptable. He says, should a few peasants die for the greater good, that is, it's understandable, but to target men or dwarves of rank within society, yeah, such is unforgivable.
Interesting. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. It is good to get to know you. Arapel looks to Glenn like you can take back over. Clearly, Arapel has lost the drive to share more.
You learn something else about him in his traits. But yeah, so he would look back to Glenn and he says, well, we can discuss a trade for the sword. I'm definitely interested in that soul crystal. I would be willing to trade quite a bit for it.
He nods, and I will have to discuss that with my party for the soul crystal. But anything else,
He says,
I
but
feel-
before you said you needed to come clean with me. What were you going to say? It sounds like you haven't shared everything with me. Which...
Well, I feel it's simply time to put all my cards on the table. You see, we originally came here to play. I'm a traveling bard, and I deal we deal in magic items as well. In our adventures, we pick up some unique items and artifacts, and I will often find those who are willing to trade other such artifacts that will help us in our adventures. So there wasn't any intention on misleading you there. This is truly what we have on us at the time. But let me ask you, when I came here, I wanted to play in these great halls that I had heard about of the fire giants and the Dwager. To provide music and have a concert here would be a dream come true in a place that has built by such craftsmen. But when I came here, I found a very different scenario. I found fire giants treating the Dwager as slaves. Pretty much.
Give me an insight check. Okay.
will.
Go ahead. So actually, any of you can give me an insight check. You might notice something. Because I don't think Glenn noticed it.
Ooh.
Okay.
I suppose I will.
Yeah, not great
As well.
rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, one more.
Wow, and Glenn has a +10 too. Oof.
Yeah, just
A little
unlucky.
loud.
Hohenheim.
It's not even loading. I've clicked it like a few times. I don't know why.
All right, I'll go ahead. Continue. Sorry. You said something about the fire giants.
I had heard tales of the fire giants and Dwager living together, but then I came here. Apparently it was bad timing because it was after a break-in of sorts. But I saw the fire giants were treating the Dwagers a little more than slaves.
So Hohenheim,
Lay.
even though this guy's pretty stoic, when Glenn mentions the fire giants, you would kind of sense like his demeanor changes a little bit, and he seems angered. Like he definitely does not like them. By the way, he's hiding it. You can tell he's hiding it, but yeah. He would say, well, you sense correctly. There is not much freedom in this place. The Dwager are a bit beholden to our fire giant allies.
Well,
Is it kind No, sorry. I was just wondering if how if the word allies was kind of forced a little bit, or
Yeah. I mean, Hohenheim kind of got that with his insight.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's definitely hiding it, which would make sense because if he
Dangerous.
was, it would be dangerous to reveal himself as an enemy to them.
well,
They are dicks.
Do you say that?
They
Yeah.
are dicks.
Oh wow! All right, so you say that, and the dwarves are kind of looking at each other. A slight smile crosses Kesbin's face, though, and he
I wonder
says,
Did you say that in Dwarvish? And I'm just wondering if how it translates. You know how some languages saying like something that's kind of slang in
"I
one
assume
language
he
is
said it in
gonna
common.
be
This
a
has
whole
all
different
been in
I don't
common."
speak Dwarvish.
Oh, this is all in common. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, he
When
assumed
we first
with
came
all
up,
the different
they
people.
greeted us in Dwarven, and I didn't think to ask since then what language they were using.
Yeah, no, he assumed that you didn't all speak Dwarven. Oh, did we get someone? Did we get a Malin?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
We can assume
Woohoo.
Malin is here too.
I say. I also say to him,
I don't enjoy violence, but fire giants I make exception.
Again,
he lies. He does
all
enjoy
the
that.
all the dwarves kind of look at each other as you say that. Again, like Gregaro continues to have a small smile on his face. He says, "You speak very dangerously, my warforged friend. I assume you're new to the city, but saying such things to the wrong people could get you promptly stepped on."
It
More
could.
fire giants to kill.
Oh wow. Give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
okay.
If that doesn't work, I'll pipe in.
I am going to inspiration in this roll too.
Okay. An inspired persuasion. 12. Alright. So the wizard looks at him with a concerned look, casting a simple spell. You could tell it's like actually I think this is a cantrip. Message is a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
So he does a spell. The guy kind of nods at him. Another one in the room casts a cantrip, and the guy looks at him, looks back at the group, seemingly with an annoyed look on his face as he looks at the one dwarf. He would say, again, friend, you should probably be careful what you say. You will find friends in this house, and you don't have to worry about me reporting you. But yeah, you might want to keep these thoughts to yourself.
Yeah,
Our
someone went and
tallest-
snitched on Glenn's concert the other evening. You know.
Yeah. The
I only
tallest of
say it because I trust you.
our number is not subtle and
He's
very.
yeah, also not the brightest,
Alright,
as you can see by his dark hue.
So, Hohenheim, give me a a persuasion advantage when you said that.
When I said which one?
that you
The,
trust
That,
him.
that you trust him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
You said an
okay.
advantage,
with
right?
advantage.
That was
Yeah,
advantage.
nice. Wow, big difference.
So he looks to his guards at this point, and he would say, "Leave us." And the guards just kind of nod and walk out of the room, leaving two robed figures. He says, "I appreciate that you trust me, although you have just met me. Very strange thing to say to someone who you've only recently met. I wonder if you're lying to me or if you're just trying to placate me."
Well,
Perhaps there is a third possibility involving naivety.
I'm
I simply say, I speak truth.
Hohenheim.
How about confidence? I mean,
Oh,
you
not
see those
just.
Warforged, not Warforged, the fire giants that are, got smushed down, down the hall over there. That was me stepping on them.
Oh, the two wizards now both look at each
You?
other.
You
And you and me?
know, maybe we shouldn't be making
So,
stories up.
just
Boasting
to
about how
just to
strong.
let you know, Malin, since you came in late, the group is posing as a bunch of merchants right now.
Oh, oops.
No, we admitted to him that we are adventurers, we are a traveling bar, we deal in
You
magic items.
didn't.
Like, we admitted that we kind of do more than just.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
well,
still saying
you
we're
admitted.
merchants, though, basically.
Yeah, you didn't say. I don't think you said you were adventurers. You admitted that you
Oh.
had.
When we were talking about the soul crystals, we mentioned like encountering them in our adventures, and
Yeah.
Glenn said something along the lines of like, as we adventure, we encounter magic items, and I sometimes
Yeah.
negotiate the sales of them. And
But the
stuff.
group
That's fun being
definitely hasn't identified themselves as like someone who's attacked the giants directly.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
my bad,
until
my bad.
now.
Oops.
we can retcon that because he just got here.
Sorry. I ran my mouth too much.
No,
that's fine.
I guess I felt like we had admitted enough that he knows that like we made this appointment as, for trading magic items, but that there's more to us.
All right. Well, I'll just
Basically
ask.
not tried to hide that.
Do you want to say that? I'll give you a second do over.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. No.
So you keep
Thank you.
quiet for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, "I'm." Or go ahead. Sorry, I think Glenn, you were talking, but he just had his guards leave, and he says, I appreciate you trusting me, large. Or did you give me your name, Hohenheim?
I will introduce myself now.
Okay, so he says, I don't know if you're being honest with me or if you're trying to placate me. He says, we've just met. How would you trust me? Especially in a place like this.
I trust everyone until they give me reason not to.
He says that is a dangerous way to be. But
Served my purpose thus far.
he looks back to Glenn. He says, tell me more about your group. You seem a lot more interesting than when I first met you. You're obviously more than merchants.
Well, we say that we trusted you after having just met you, but that is not entirely true because I've done my research as well, and I know that your family is no friend of the fire giants. And after I've seen what I've seen, especially having recently having dealt with ice giants who, by the way, are not dicks like these fire giants have been, I felt, and after having performed several times from some Dwergar guard captains outside of the mines and even some inside the bars here, all have been lovely people. And I think, well, let's just say to be honest, I'm here to sow the seeds of revolution.
So he considers you a moment and says, well, I've never found any giants to be, what did you call them, more than just dicks. I don't know the frost giants, but I know that their type look down upon us just as much as the fire giants do. Now, you mentioned something of some interest to me. I won't say what, but if we are to continue this conversation, I need you to submit to a circle of truth, or zone of truth. It's a magical spell that will keep you from lying to me.
I am familiar with this spell, and I would kind of like look around to my group. I'm capable of this magic, and I think it is actually quite valuable for establishing trust.
He says, well,
You know,
my people are also capable. Would you be
Oh
willing?
yeah, I wasn't saying that I would. I don't
Would
have
you
a
be
spare.
willing
I
to
was
be
just,
in?
I was just telling my group. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Would you be willing to be in zone as well, friend?
of course.
As I say to Gregario.
He says, give me a persuasion. He doesn't say that.
Oh, was he not planning on being in this zone? Does he look like
Not-
he hesitates?
That's-
No,
I
he
didn't think
does
he was going
hesitate a
to.
little.
Mm.
'Cause that means he would lose his advantage in this conversation.
And here I thought we were trying to establish trust.
So he does hesitate for a moment. Again, not like he's worried, but like he's thinking. He says, I suppose it's only fair if I ask it of you that you would submit as well. So certainly I will join you in the circle. And he
Sure.
kind of moves some chairs aside, and one of the dwarves starts tracing out like a runic circle on the floor, and he would just I guess I'll have Glenn step in it because you're kind of talking for the group.
Yeah.
He would step in it with you.
Well, it's pretty large, isn't it?
Zone of truth.
I be able to step in as
Okay.
well?
Radius.
So yeah,
50
it's
foot radius.
it's
We can
pretty
all be in it.
large.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have to trace anything on the floor. The magic just does it. So yeah, there's a large section of the room that is just kind of glowing now. So I guess you could all step into it. That's pretty big.
Now I can run my mouth.
And
No.
he
Can't
Well, it
silence
doesn't.
one.
It doesn't force you to say anything you don't want to say. It just you can't speak like a deliberate lie.
Details.
You
Yeah,
could just choose not to speak at all.
and the one
No,
who
I'm
cast
sure.
I plead the fifth.
and the
No, I'm gonna overshare now.
the wizard
Yes.
who cast it would say, "Do not resist the magic. Just speak truthfully. I will know if you try to lie." And Gregaro would nod. His wizard, the one who cast the magic circle or zone of truth. And Gregaro would nod, and he says, he said it to your group, not Gregaro. But Gregaro would say, why do you seek to start a revolution in this place? Obviously, you are not from here.
What, fire giants?
I don't like the way that the fire giants are treating the Dweger. Nobody should have to be living in such servitude and slavery, especially a race that is capable of grand things such as your own.
He nods. He looks to the wizard. So the wizard would just nod, and
Well, that's not the only reason. I do feel that truly.
I mean, I just like beating up fire giants. That is a good truth.
He kind of smiles at that. And he says, "It seems that your Warforged all enjoy a good pummeling of the fire giants."
Actually, it is against my nature to seek out hostilities when there are other routes. I will start into a tangent until someone stops me.
So he just kind of nods at that and says, "So, you say you wish to start a revolution. Why have you come to speak to me about this? And what other reasons, or did you have any other reasons for coming
We
here
are
today?"
genuinely interested in knowing what wares you may have available, both magical or of historical significance, or of that bear interesting stories. We would be most interested in sharing any parts of your collection you may be willing to show us, even if there are pieces you may not be willing to part with. We were genuine in coming here in wanting to know what trade or learning opportunities are available in addition to our other goals.
He says, "So revolution and commerce. Was there anything else that brought you to my home today?"
I am curious, friend, if you may be able to assist in revolution from shadows. That way, if things don't work out, you can claim innocence, and if things do work out, it works out well for everyone.
That goes without saying.
He says, "Before I answer your questions, I want you to answer that last one I gave you. Are there any other reasons you came to my home today besides trade and a discussion of revolution?"
The reasons we came to
Helping
your
with
home,
revolution.
yeah, the reasons we came to your home involve commerce, learning, and possibility for stirring revolution in these halls. That is most genuine.
He says, "And those are the only reasons you're here."
Those are the reasons we have come to your home today.
Oh yes, for
Keep
me
asking.
it was. For me, it was for trade and for revolution. I had heard that there are some particularly interesting items you had, and so I was looking to acquire them.
So, out of character, real quick, would the heist that we're planning actually benefit the Dwagar?
What do you mean out of character?
So, like, this is just like, I'm not saying this to anybody, like, but
Oh, well, you
I want
can't.
to know if
You
Hohenheim
can't
would
talk
know.
about that now.
No, I just want to know if I would know.
Oh,
that.
if you would know if they
You
could
would
benefit the
know-
heist.
You
You
would know
would
that
know
both
if you
If
knew.
no, I want to know if the heist would benefit
the
the
heist is
Dwagar.
for profit. As far
Yeah,
as
there's
we know,
no-
the
I
heist
wanna
is
know.
entirely profit.
I'm under the impression that we're going to be doing this, and that's aligning with the goals of the revolution.
I don't know where
And
you got
that's
that
why I'm
impression.
thinking-
It's
I don't
all
think
for
so.
profit.
No.
I'm not a
Yeah.
smart dude. That's
No.
why I'm asking.
As far as you
Okay.
know, no one has said anything about the heist helping the Dwager.
Heist equal profit.
In
Yeah.
fact, it
I
would
would
be a
say
problem for
I
the Dwager.
certainly did not come here to show you my most precious items. Yet that is what I did.
He says, "And why do you worry about showing me your precious items?"
Because the power and danger that is behind them. And I fear that evil will follow us.
He says, "Well, I've asked you quite a few questions. Do you have any questions for me before I continue?"
Would you be willing to assist us in revolution?
So he looks to the wizard, who kind of nods at him for some reason as he casts another cantrip. And he would say, "I would."
Do you think the other three families could be convinced to join us? I don't know how loyal they are, or what their disposition towards the Fire Giants is. I only learned about your family being the one that rules over this part of the fortress we've been in.
He says anything is possible, but it's going to be much harder to get all of the noble families on board. He says they may, or at least one or two of them may have to be dealt with.
Well,
Oh, a coup? I love a coup.
Mhm.
And he leaves it, you can tell he's leaving it purposefully vague.
do you have any information about the Master Forge? Any sort of information or maps or
Sorry, it's actually called the Molten Chapel. I misidentified
the Molten
it.
Chapel? Sorry.
He says, I do. Why are you interested in the Molten Chapel?
Where are we interested in again? Because I don't want to lie.
Because that's where the heist is.
Yeah, but we're not gonna say that. Like, remind us, like, what was the rest of the
yeah.
intel that we have on?
His family has a key that the group needs.
Okay,
the
but what is
Kesben.
what else do we know about the Molten Chapel, other than that there might be treasures there and we're gonna try and rob them?
It is the center of the city. It's like a huge forging area.
It's a gathering ground for the fire giants.
Yeah, it's where all the fire, because it's so big, it's where all the fire giants are hanging out. It's magical, massive,
And
almost like
historical.
a very historical, almost like a wonder of the old empire. Like
Oh,
it
There
was,
you go. There you go. There's our reason.
Yeah, he turns to Arapel.
Yeah, I would launch into the whatever legends or information I might have on its historical significance or the how amazingly it was constructed or how it's survived or like just like a lot, like I would geek out historically in a robotic voice and so
Right.
people cut me off. Yeah.
And
But yeah, like my Warforged companion here is a bit of a history nerd, and so
So, what is your interest again in the chapel? It seems a bit unrelated to the talk of revolution.
where giants gather every night.
It would be
He
a
seems,
significant blow to their society if we were to somehow infiltrate or.
So
I
he
don't know.
seems a bit surprised. He says the center of the city is where all the giants are. You would strike at the very heart of them? That would be suicide.
That is goal.
He says it
Would
would
it
be.
not elicit the most extreme like surprise and reaction from them if we
I mean,
were to be so
not
bold?
only that, but it's if they're all congregated, then it'd be a few big booms and everything's taken care of.
I would be like, Chomsky, I insist that we attempt to preserve the treasures of history and blah 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 blah. You guys can talk over me and like continue the conversation, but I'll interject that kind of stuff.
So he would say it's a fortified position. The giants have places up high they could attack you from, raining down fury upon any who attack the fortress.
It's a
you
place
would-
they feel
That can
safe
fly.
and rest.
He says, well, yes, they are safe there. It
And
would be.
they
Yeah.
let down their guard. That's the perfect time to strike, is it not?
well, let me I'll again laying cards out on the table here. You have some I see you have some wizards here to give you counsel. What's the strongest magic they're able to conjure?
Give me a deception check. As he kind of considers all this that you've been saying.
Are we being deceitful?
Yeah, you're trying to hide the fact that you're heisting behind a bunch of stuff. So,
I'm trying to hide the fact that we're here to get to the Rune Master's Tower. That's the only thing Arapel's focused on.
yeah, but I mean, that's also what
Yeah,
the group
yeah.
is trying to do is
That's
like.
information we're leaving out, yeah.
So he looks at you. He says, "You sure there's nothing else you want from this this molten forge?"
As you have clearly discerned, we are a party of many goals and interests, and it is not inaccurate, any one of our requests or or aims, but many things catch our interest.
Besides, if we can strike fear at the heart of where they stay, then they won't feel safe anywhere.
Are there other points of interest that you would encourage us to target first, perhaps, if you were planning some type of starting incident to begin a revolution? I would be curious to know your insights.
He says, let's see, did you distract him with that? Oh, he says, well, before that, did you have some other plan for the Molten Chapel? I feel like you're not being completely honest with me.
How do you think we get magic items to sell to you?
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
So we're just going to lay our cards out.
So his eyes, he again, he does the calculating thing as he just stares at you in silence, thinking for a moment.
I don't know why we try. One of us at some point is just going to tell the truth anyway.
I'll
Yeah,
lose
I
Hohenheim
Tell the
home
whole
next
story.
time.
Hearing Hohenheim, Glenn's just gonna speak up and say, "We're gonna fucking rob them."
See. Says,
We're
well,
gonna rob them fucking blind.
Says, well, that certainly would be difficult.
Maybe you benefit as well. I shrug my shoulders.
Says maybe the vaults of the Molten Chapel have been sealed magically for quite some time. I didn't know there was a way to get into them. How do you plan to get past all the locks and defenses?
Well,
You also didn't know about the art of making soul crystals.
you
I
have
feel like that is
key.
for us
The
to
key
know.
that
Sorry.
the key that you have in your possession is one of the items we need
Sorry.
to do that.
He says,
Memes.
I wonder, is that why you originally came to me? It was for the key.
Yes, that is one of the reasons. Although again, Arabelle said correct. All of us have our own agendas and goals. Mine was to play an awesome rock concert here, and again, being truthful, once I learned about how shitty the fire giants were treating you guys, I wanted to start a revolution, and then we just happened to run into some people that might know how to heist the chapel, and so things just kind of got bigger and grander the longer we spent here.
Who did you run into?
You remember that that commotion down the hall where a bunch of fire giants got squashed? That was me stepping on them. Now I say it.
Now he says it.
He says, but who did you run into that was planning to rob the chapel, is what I was asking.
Wait,
We,
did we say that?
Also, so you are the ones who have been attacking the fire giants?
Yes, we've been kicking their ass, and we
I've been
may
the one
have run
stepping
into
on
the
them,
people
yeah.
that stole from the fire giants already.
Interesting.
Oh my lord, we've given
I mean,
away a lot.
I'm the guy who just won the what was it, the
I'm the
tournament,
pit
fighting
fighting
pits.
champion too.
Yeah, I'm fighting. I mean, I got a little bored.
brother. Oh.
Yeah, we just killed a forge master as well.
He was kind of cool.
Well, Chad, honestly, Chad, it was really difficult and painful emotionally.
So he continues to keep his cold, calculating stare, as if he's kind of thinking about all this.
I also
wait,
want magic items.
Did you tell him who's trying to heist the
No.
chapel? Okay, so you didn't say that.
Nah, I just
Master
said we may
Gregaro.
have run into him.
Master Gregaro, do you intend to share any information that we have given you today with fire giants or allies of fire giants in any way?
He smiles. He says, a very smart question to ask. The answer is no, and none of my wizards will share the information either.
And the guards that you sent out, what they heard before they left, do you believe any of them to be compromised in any way? Even if you...
I don't think so. It was dangerous of you to say those things in front of them, though. He looks to Hohenheim.
Yeah.
I cannot...
What was that?
Sorry, go ahead.
He says, I cannot guarantee their silence, but they also didn't know much about you. And if you are truly the ones that have been attacking the fire giants, whatever they say in the streets won't bring you any more heat than is already upon you. As your group,
Good one. I try to give him a fist bump.
he just stares at you,
Okay.
cold and calculating, and he says, actually, at this point, give me a persuasion with advantage, Glenn.
Glenn's about to cook.
I think you had advantage anyway. He says,
Yeah.
I appreciate the honesty you've shown me, so I will give you a bit in return. I hate the fire giants. They've inflicted a wound upon my family that I will most likely never recover from, as my only son was killed by them due to rabble rousing. You will find a friend in my house if your aims are to weaken them, or a revolution if you actually, well, it seems like you're being honest. And he looks to the wizard, who nods, and he says, if you actually do wish to free the city from their grasp. But
Oh yes.
attacking
Can
them...
I ask?
Go ahead.
Can I ask what that message of sending was earlier, or that message spell earlier?
He's been doing quite a few back and forth with his wizard. He
So
says,
I was referring to the one that was right before they kicked everybody else out.
he says, when I told my guards to leave.
Was that just? Is that all that message was?
He says, I've sent several messages to my wizard and my guards over our chat. None of them hostile towards you, I can assure you.
He hasn't asked about the private messages I sent to Chomsky. It's ill mannered to ask such private things, oh my.
He says, we can all be afforded our whispers, but you are definitely people I'd be interested in working with, as you seem to have been effective towards the destruction of the fire giants, at least so far. What I was saying before is attacking the Molten Chapel. Attacking the Molten Chapel directly would be extremely difficult and most likely incur a lot of death. I would do something to try to lure the fire giants out of their chapel before attacking it directly.
Well,
which
we did have a plan to do a giant rock festival. Or a rock concert.
Well, the rock concert you planned was for the Deep Dwarves, wasn't it?
Is that not the distraction that we wanted?
Yeah, that's the distraction, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, so
okay.
we have a distraction planned already, so that's perfect.
And that distraction is for the Three Kings to obtain another item they need for the heist. That's not for the heist itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in my notes, it would have been for this key here.
No, they need a different thing.
Yes, we're getting the key.
The
they're
key
getting
you're
the map.
getting is right now. Yeah, they're getting something else. But he says that if you can unite several of the noble families in this endeavor, then we might actually have a chance. It would be costly, and failure would mean the destruction of all the noble houses, or most of them. I doubt the giants would forgive us. Are you sure this is something that you can accomplish?
Yes, I mean, if as you said, if a noble house is unwilling to join us, then we just simply depose their leader until we find a leader who is willing to join us.
Also, I mean, we're just going to be going a little, whittling down the numbers, going a little shaving the number of fire giants that we have, So make sure we even our odds until we're ready for a full-fledged encounter.
He says, and what do you hope to gain out of this, if you don't mind me asking? What's in it for you? I don't know many who would undertake such a difficult endeavor without wanting something for themselves.
I do actually enjoy a challenge. So I actually, I do enjoy beating up fire giants. This is literally how I joined the group.
We have we have undertaken other quests and endeavors and combats, if purely for the sake of righting wrongs and protecting oppressed or endangered people.
I mean, exactly. And then I suppose if you're looking for a more selfish answer, I mean, it would be great to have a Dweger society and people such as yourself to be allies with, to possibly open trade with. I mean, if you guys were able to get back control of the Bolton Chapel, the wonders and items that you could craft and create would be wonderful to trade with.
Says that makes sense. Does your group have any other purposes for this, for being down here?
I wonder. You seem to have strong opinions about the defenses and the impregnability or difficulty in entering the Molten Chapel due to its use by the fire giants at this time, and the possible flaw in our plan that it is too centralized of a target. But you have not yet shared what other targets you would prefer or would select yourself if you were leading such a mission. We would be most interested to hear these.
Give me a deception.
Deception, okay.
Because you're deflecting from the question you just asked.
This will not be good.
So he says, answer my question first, but I'd be happy to talk more about that.
In regards to other reasons why we are here, we cannot share that information, but I can assure you it is no ill will towards any of Dwegar. It is us just passing through.
Also, I made this query some time ago and I've only just restated it now. So it is a question that was posed first before the question that you posed.
Give me a persuasion, Hohenheim.
Aye, Captain.
Oh,
Aye.
nice.
He sighs. He says, well, you've been extremely honest with me. I suppose I can afford you some secrets. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't extremely curious as to what other reason you all are down here. As for...
Perhaps a conversation for another time.
Perhaps.
No. Oh,
Do you say no?
I want him to. He just said he's going to share with us. Don't stop him from talking.
I just said for another time about the whole reasoning as to why he's
Okay.
like questioning as to why we're here. I was like, maybe another time.
Yeah. As for your question, did you give him your name, Arapel?
If we all made introductions, then I would have.
Yeah, you probably did.
Then yeah, I would have done so at the same time, and I would have given the great big long robotic
So he says,
full titles and everything.
As for your question, I have many times considered what a revolution would look like. Since the death of my son, I've invested quite a bit of resources into gathering information and planning. However, I've always found that revealing my plan or trying to gain allies myself would be way too dangerous to my house, so I never acted upon it. But it's something I have looked into and studied. And
If you
good. If I have you to interact with the other houses, I can deny involvement, so there's no risk to me.
absolutely, if you could guide our contacts or our efforts to make contacts and divulge information that may be useful in
He says,
conversing with those contacts to us, then that would be a significant help while minimizing the risk to yourself.
I certainly can. As long
and
as
beyond
you
contacts,
don't identify me as a contact.
beyond contacts, as a historian, surely you know a lot about this city and its structures and its tunnels and its secrets and its treasures, and to some extent would have other information that may prove useful to us as well.
This is perhaps. I know a good deal about the structure of the of Rowan Halls.
So why is it that you think that the Molten, what's it called? The Molten Vault? The Molten Forge? Chapel. Molten Chapel is impregnable, or is not a besides the centrality and the numbers of fire giants. What else makes you...
He says, he pauses for a second, and then he says, they have defenses. The chapel itself has defenses developed by the Tharian Empire, which they could employ against any who attack it. It's sort of a last bastion if the city were ever invaded. The population could use it as a bunker of sorts, firing massive amounts of flame and even molten lava upon anyone who tried to break in.
So there are traps or siege machines of some sort, or anti-siege machines that are
siege
in place
machines
still from the time of the Tharians are still in place?
Yes, he says siege machines, traps, all sorts of deadly weaponry that the giants could activate to help them defend the Molten Chapel, as well as their own people throwing boulders. It would be a death trap.
Can you give us more information about the specifics, or what you know of the specifics of these traps?
He says, unfortunately, I only know a few things. There is a map with the information on many of its defenses. However, I do not have possession of it.
How is it that you came by this information?
He says, now it's my turn to say I have my secret. And he smiles.
Do you know who does have information?
He says the other families have information. The giants certainly have information. The Forge Masters, particularly, are the brains of their empire.
Damn it! We should have become friends with.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, well, that would have been a little expensive, but yeah.
Sir Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to get information would be to try to trade with the other dwarven houses.
And if we...
The nobility has links to the city from when they first came here, before even the fire giants came.
And if we told you that we have plans and allies and other details in motion, and would there be anything you could contribute to our cause to aid our efforts that you feel we may not have or know?
I couldn't give you too much, because if you were killed and they found my items on you, they could be traced back to me, and there's only so much plausible deniability I'd have. However, I might be able to provide you with a few things, as I could just say I maybe sold them to you. Although even then, it would be a little bit suspicious. So, anything that you know or have regarding the Molten Palette or Molten Chapel, you feel would lead back to you, that it's knowing that you have it? This is, well, I thought you meant armaments, like actual magical items. I believe I've told you most of what I know of the chapel. as I said, don't know much about the inside, because no one knows much about the inside. No one is allowed to go in there but the giants.
Out of character, Glenn, you already asked for the key, right?
I said that. Yeah, that was one of the things that we needed.
Okay.
Oh, you did?
That's
You
what I
asked him-
thought. Yeah.
So, as for the key, I assume
Oh.
you're still willing to trade for it.
Damn
Yeah.
it. So now we're trading for the key instead of for magic items. Okay.
Well, we were pretty much always answered. I mean, yeah. I mean, unless we want to trade the soul crystal.
He says, I was actually going to ask if you would be willing to trade the soul crystal.
No.
It would not just be for the key, though. I'd be willing to give you 2 other rare magical items with that.
What
No.
what intention would
No.
you have with it?
I am... He pauses for a second, as if studying you a bit. He says, I have an item that it could power.
A magical item, I assume.
He says, an artifact from the time of the Therian Empire. Something that has lain dormant for quite some time. And I've had no way of powering.
Well, talk to me more.
Turn that quick turnaround.
So he kind of looks at you again, measuring you up. Give me a persuasion, Chomsky, or Glenn.
Glenn, please.
Or Glenn. All right.
Actually, both of you can, although I'm pretty sure I know who's going to roll higher.
I don't think I can roll as high
Yeah, you
as
can roll 19. So.
ever.
All right. So he says, "Are you familiar with something called the hollow points?"
Mm.
So I don't believe I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says, "There is an old hollow point back from when this was in the clutches of the Therian Empire, back when the city was held by the dwarves. It is in a secret area below the forge in this part of the city. We found a way in. While exploring, I got some information from my research on ancient underground passageways, and I was very curious to activate it and see what sort of secrets the old Therian hollow point had to offer." He says, another thing that I think isn't as interesting to me, but could be, is that there is a magical device that runs under this whole city. Some sort of engine that drags carts along a track, which is powered by the stone. I believe it even runs out of the city, although that cave is caved in. So I don't know.
Does it run or does it roll on tracks?
He says it rolls on tracks.
Okay.
I believe it's
Which-
called a train.
Which device did you intend to use a power crystal on should you acquire one?
He says, "Oh, well, the hollow for sure, but I mean, at some point, activating this this device would be very interesting to me, just to see what it can do." I
And you're-
believe it can be used to. Well, the tracks, I've had them explored, and they go to the 4 areas of the city as well as under the Molten Chapel.
And that's the interesting part, or both those are the interesting part.
He
Very.
says, I'm just excited to see it run. As a student
Oh, you
of,
said it rolls, not runs.
he says, you know what I mean. To see it roll on its tracks.
See, that doesn't sound like
Sorry.
anything nefarious to me.
He says, no, it's not nefarious. I'm just very interested to see how this piece of history operates.
I'm sure Chomsky, you could admire something like that, you know.
It is most interesting to consider
Well-
these
Sorry,
Propelled-
Uslog. I know
propelled carts.
you've just been
cart-
like so
Carts
much
propelled
talking.
along tracks using magical
Favorite.
force is very interesting. I would be most intrigued to view these.
As well,
Yeah, so I mean,
if you wish
just-
to trade me the stone, I would be, or the crystal, I'd be happy to bring you down to see both as my allies.
so theoretically, then, what would you be willing to trade for the crystal?
Or what would you be willing to trade for just the long greatsword?
For the great sword, was that a rare?
I want all our options on the table.
What is the great sword?
Of sharpness.
Sword
Of sharpness.
Great sword of sharpness. Is my compendium working yet?
Arapel carried it for a little while, and then when Uslug rejoined our group, he gave it to her, but then she got all her other stuff back.
Yeah, it requires
So
a
she
tune.
hasn't-
Doesn't really
Yeah,
work.
so
for
she
me.
hasn't really used it. Arapel got
It's
attunement
very
slots, but
rare. So he says I might be willing to trade something of quite a bit of rarity for it. I don't know about
Can you be
trading
more
the.
specific?
He says, or if you really wish it, I will just trade it for the key.
Interesting how you mentioned that this was especially rare. See, this is why I didn't want them. Yeah, this is why Rando told us not to tell them we want the key.
Wait, interesting that
Um,
you mentioned what's rare.
What?
What did he mention
Sword.
was? Oh, that was me who said the sword was very rare. He didn't say that. I was just looking up its rarity.
You mentioned when we entered that you had items to trade. What are the items of similar value that you would have traded for this item? You as well as we know that the soul crystal is on a different level than this item.
He says, well, as I said, if you don't wish to trade the soul crystal, I am willing to just trade your sword for the key, as I know you'll need it for the coming revolution. But if you are willing to trade me the crystal, I would be willing to exchange a very rare item for your sword. It depends on what type of item you seek. I have a decent-sized collection.
Wait. So nothing for the crystal, and then you'll give us a better trade for the sword because of the crystal?
Well, for the crystal, he said he'd give you the key and 2 rare items from his
Oh.
collection.
Well, I would be interested in knowing all of the options. So, what are the very rare items that you would have available, given if we could come to an agreement for items of such value?
That is a good question. Let me see. What do I have in my vaults?
Have a Holy Avenger. Get Arapel Holy Avenger.
Is that very rare?
I mean,
It's legendary.
Yeah, that's what I
honestly,
thought.
I know it's only rare, but the sensor is actually a really, really good weapon for my build.
So,
It's essentially 3d8 damage, so it's like really good damage as weapons go.
he says, are any of you magic users?
Oh yeah.
Everyone shoots their
Hi,
hand up.
magic user.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Everybody sticks their hands up.
Except Uslog.
Says, I do have an
That's
extremely
Uslog.
powerful wand that makes your spells more accurate. Quite a bit more accurate.
That is something I would quite enjoy, friends.
He would basically explain it's a wand of the War Mage +3.
Oh, +3.
+3.
Ooh.
Interesting.
No, that sounds boring. I like punching stuff.
Right.
Boring.
Arapel.
throw it
And
at
I'm
the
gonna
guy.
go ahead and assume that the zone of truth has worn out.
It's probably they might have just recast it.
Oh, okay. They're recasting. All right. Not that I'm intending to lie, because Arapel actually will never lie, but just in general, I was curious. Okay, so they're re-upping it whenever they need to. Okay.
He says the other item I have, which might be of interest to you, is again a very powerful item to someone of magic use. It's been in my family for quite a while. I wouldn't give it to you, but I would let you use it. It's something called a Tome of Clear Thought. It makes the reader smarter.
I'm pretty smart already. Why do I need this?
I'm smart anyway. He says, I would
I am-
allow you to read it to use the 100-year charge that I was saving.
Interesting. So I am familiar with these type items of this type. So you're saying that we could utilize it at this time, but you would retain the tome for your future generations, or
He
for you.
nods.
Well,
He
we
says, well,
would.
I would still be alive in 100 years to use it.
Why have you not used it yet, if it is available for use?
I just thought it might come in handy someday.
Interesting.
I'm already fairly smart.
So out of character, like, do we have int build?
That's me. I'm an
Oh, that's
build.
right. I always forget that artificer.
Yeah,
Give
Artificer.
you,
I'm so
Flash
sorry.
Genius.
I
Oh
always
yeah,
think
no.
I'm always like assuming that you're
Yeah.
wisdom because it just makes sense in my head. But no, that's totally right. That would be so good. Okay.
Nope, I'm a nerd.
No attunement. Okay. So honestly, I think that's more valuable than like the Wand of the War Mage is a great item, but
There's not that many spells that use attack rolls. Like the best spells are DC spells.
yeah, I mean the books that increase your core stats, which affects all of your stuff, like, and they don't require attunement, you just get the benefit. Like, those are amazing.
I mean, there are some pretty nasty attack spells,
True.
but yeah, it depends.
I'm not saying that the Wand of the War Mage isn't good. It's really good. But I'm just saying
Remember what we're trading for this?
Yeah, no. I'm not saying let's do it.
And
I'm
wait,
saying
so
it's good to
what are
know.
we? What else are we getting for the? Well, first off, you can only one person
I
use
mean-
a tome at a time, right?
Oh yeah, it's only one person every
person to
100
use it.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we're gonna make these trades. I'm just saying this could actually be worth
And
Sorry, dumbass
Considering-
question.
trades in the future. Yeah.
this guy doesn't seem like he has any nefarious purposes with the soul crystals. So
We don't actually know that.
he was speaking when you asked him, he was speaking under zone of truth. So
Yeah. He said he wants to power contraptions, which yes is pretty much how we started using soul crystals. But here's the thing. He
Sorry,
also
do you want to know what the last item is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he says, I have a magical needle that can instill a tattoo on someone, making them
Wait, I'm listening. Tell me more.
extremely well defended, though they would have to be unarmored.
Ooh.
it's Eldritch,
Wait, tell me.
wait,
it's a very rare barrier tattoo.
which one is it?
Yeah,
Barrier?
it's a barrier tattoo, very rare.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Gives
just
you an AC of 18 unarmored.
Which would be great for Uslog.
Yes, but at what cost?
That's what I say.
I'm bored. Anyway, you. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nerds and tattoos.
All right. So
If you're looking for, do you say I'm bored or are you just being cheeky?
no.
No, I'm gonna be like
Please
pouting.
no.
I'm like, this is. I was looking for something to beat up someone. Like you can see me visibly disappointed in the corner.
I'm going outside.
Go ahead. All right. So he says, those are some of the most valuable items in my collection. If you're looking for weaponry, I have quite a bit that isn't as good as that, and armor, but is still very powerful.
We very much appreciate you giving us a glimpse of your collection and your wares, and
Do you have any
we
gauntlets?
will most seriously consider your proposals. But you must understand that we are most hesitant to allow such a dangerous item to be passed about.
Do you have any gauntlets?
Do I?
That being said, you've mentioned you have more common magical items. Perhaps some would be available for purchase outside of any of our other dealings, simply as minor transactions, such as gauntlets. Please proceed.
Sure.
By the way, does Uslog have armor or gauntlets? What do you?
No. She's got the ring of protection.
So
that's all she's got.
gauntlets of what are? Is it gauntlets of protection? What are the ones that?
The
Bracers
Bracer-
of defense.
it's on her bracers of defense. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So those actually would be
So-
a really, really important item for us. Yeah.
Bracers of
Oh.
defense.
About
But
some
I don't know
gauntlets,
what gauntlets
flaming
yet.
fury, you know, some like fire. You know, actually
Yeah,
wait, that's
yeah, he
I'm actually wait, I'm retarded. They're immune to fire. I'm actually an idiot.
Also, the gauntlets of flaming fury cause non-magical weapons to become magical and deal fire damage. I'm not sure if you'd be
They're
interested in that.
I mean,
I
I'd
mean,
love
it would
that.
be
but-
lovely in some of our encounters. It just might not help us too much.
Yeah, I'm
now.
just saying not be helpful.
He says
Well,
I
so if we wanna
actually
go back and
actually
massacre
do
the
have
ice giants, it might.
I actually do have a set of gauntlets of flaming fury.
Oh,
Wait.
fuck.
I have to think about this now. Wait. Now you have my attention.
All right, can we trade any of the other like items that we laid out of equal value
For those gauntlets.
Those are only rare.
Right.
So I mean, if you really wanted to, you could trade the sword for those. But he did say he'd be willing to give you 2 rares and the key for your soul crystal. And actually, it is 8:40, so we might want to stop here.
Oh my goodness.
You can get. All right. Well.
Big RP session.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out in the next 2 weeks. So.
You could just like phone in and be like, "Did you guys get the gauntlets?"
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna do.
Did you get it? Did you get
It's
it?
like-
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Malin's on like a
I love
conference call. He's like, "I want to trade for the gauntlets. Give me gauntlets."
If I get Chris Evans on the line and says, "Guys, please give Dan gauntlets," would you guys do it?
If you get who on the line?
Chris
so he's-
Evans.
He's going to Comic Con. He's gonna meet important people.
This is Captain America, guys. I need those gauntlets of flaming
Hey, hey.
fury.
He's gonna spend his photo op 30 seconds to have them like speak into his phone and record a message for
I
us.
need my
Exactly.
magical gauntlets. The dwarf is like, I don't know about this Chris Evans. I don't know this guy. I still want the crystal. But yeah, give me your MVP votes, and you guys can decide over the week what you want to do.
Alright.
Got 2 votes so far. Hopefully, you're still enjoying this Uslog, even though you're just kind of sitting there
Oh.
quietly.
Oh yeah, she's just. I'm doing what a Uslog would do, which is just keep her mouth shut. Because
Like all this talking.
Yep.
I want to murder. Yeah, that's fine. You can abstain since you joined late.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Doing way too late.
All right, I think I just need one more vote.
Can I give my MVP vote to Diddy?
Sure, Diddy gets the MVP
Did
vote.
you get chance?
ah, sorry, I'm having trouble typing today. Ah, I typed the wrong thing.
Oh,
It's okay. It's fine.
it's fine. Oh wow, do we have a 5-way tie?
that would be fun.
Yeah,
wait,
we
So
wait,
it's
do.
up to me, is what you're saying.
So everyone roll
Wait,
a.
it's six way, because Diddy got a vote.
All right, so everyone roll a d20, and I'll roll a d20
Diddy
for the
does not.
NPC.
Gonna-
See
I
if
was
Diddy
today.
steals the MVP.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know
she
how to
definitely doesn't.
roll. I
Not
don't know how to
one.
roll with the new UI.
She got that one.
You just click
That's
on
good.
the dice.
Well, it's different. Okay, so the 12, Hohenheim.
Yeah, Hohenheim, you are the MVP, so you gain inspiration.
And it's a 12. Like, we all rolled pretty badly.
Yeah.
We used all our nat 20s up.
Yeah, good
About
game,
one
everyone.
time.
It was interesting. That was a long conversation, but
Boy, howdy, ain't it?
it seemed like everyone was enjoying it. So
Honestly, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Arapel was when he learned he was a historian, or at least a scholar interested in history, and he knew what soul crystals were, and he knew what Shadow Lord was. Although he repeatedly referred to Shadow Lord singular, not Shadow Lords, and I did notice that. And Arapel even said something about it, but I don't think it was heard. I think it got lost. But anyway,
What were those two
heard
very
it.
rares I
I
offered
heard it.
you?
It was the
The-
Wand of the War Mage,
Right, Wand
the
of the War
Barrier
Plus 3.
Tattoo, and the Tome of
And
Clear
the-
Thought.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the Tome of Clear Thought. Okay. I just forgot.
But here's
to
the thing.
write
Here's
them
the thing,
down before
guys.
I closed it.
In Arapel's book, he's still wary of this guy. Like for a minute there, Arapel was like, maybe we found an ally. Maybe we can tell him everything. But then Arapel asked a couple questions, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but this dude
Oh,
said
yeah. We did.
he supported the use of plebes to harvest their souls as long as it wasn't important people of rank.
He didn't support it. He didn't mind.
Yeah.
He was indifferent to it.
He was more mad that
Exactly.
they consider using people of status.
Which is
What-
really
and
problematic. I mean,
there's
that's
the
Sure.
train, and then what's the other one? The train,
That is
and then what are
really
the circles
problematic.
called?
The Hollow Point.
the
Hollow
hollow
Point,
points,
that's it.
which our party has used, so we're actually kind of familiar with those. But like, no, the fact that using people's souls to power your machines, that's not the problem for him. The problem is that sometimes they used important people's souls. For
that's-
Arapel, that was like big red flags, and
But
that
that's
is
the
why.
thing is, from his perspective, I mean, like, okay, a Shadow Lord's using souls. Like, what are you gonna do to stop him? At least, you know, if he's
not
using
support
peasants.
them, maybe
I
oppose
mean, but
them.
it's okay, and then he, I mean, but you can't ask for somebody to do that and risk their lives to oppose people. Like, it's okay. Well, it's not bothering me, and it's not bothering, you know, my family. So okay, you know, I don't want to get
Well, if you have
involved
a
and
conscience,
possibly die.
it is.
Let's
That's like
remember,
saying-
Glenn enjoys playing the evil party, so.
No, it's not even that. But that's like saying, okay, well, somebody is doing something bad in front of you. If you don't risk your life to stop them, then you're complicit. I don't.
Right. No, I understand what you're saying, but based on
Moral
Arapel and
quandary.
Arapel, yeah, Arapel's build is that he does risk to stop it when he sees that.
Of
That's-
course,
that's
Arapel's a
Arapel.
paladin.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not just being a paladin. I mean, yeah, you're right. That is very standard for paladins.
Yeah.
But like, I have a. I mean, some of my characters are not. I mean, last night, for example.
Yeah, I'm just talking about.
Yeah, what the hell's happening? Huh?
Oh my lord.
Oh, that.
God, we were
Jeez.
evil last night. Anyway,
I-
but
You
no,
know, I showed up midway and had no part in the evil decisions we made.
and
Doodles was
honestly,
just busy hiding in the corner.
poor Doodles has like gotten thrown into this group. You've been there what, like
These guys
3
seem
sessions?
heroic. Oh my god, what's going
Like
on?
you've been there like 3 sessions, and in all 3 sessions, you've been put in extreme mortal danger or observed us doing horrible things. It's so bad. And
Yup.
and Anvir and Doodles are probably, I don't know what Doodles' alignment is because you're kind of new and quiet and stuff, but I'm assuming you're a more lightly aligned than the rest of us. But like the funny thing is that like of the group, like Anvir is like the only good aligned, like, I don't know. Yeah,
You don't
it's
say.
so bad. It's so bad. Oh God.
You don't say.
I was like, I want to build a character that isn't my normal. I do all the good for all the innocents, like that I always play.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna make her straight out, like lawful neutral. She's got her own code, right? And I've been playing
Yeah.
that, and I like my character a lot. But this group and the encounters we've had have just like led me into like, you know, more and more like, yeah, all right, she'd go with that, sure. Okay, that's borderline evil, but yeah, she would go
I
with it
mean-
because of the circumstances.
Sometimes the group makes decisions for your characters.
hmm Anyway, sorry guys, I'm sorry. Anyway,
It's fun.
but no, in this group, Arapel is very much against those soul crystals getting out, the knowledge of how those soul crystals are made getting out.